You are tuned in to episode 43. Yes, episode 43 of the Goodfellas podcast. G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru in the building. I got my main man, VP Shane, in the building. What's going on, good brother?
Surviving, bro.
Surviving indeed. And down the bottom, I got my man, BoxingFirst Vlog, aka the General, aka Blunt Bayless in the building. What's going on, good brother?
Oh man, out here wiggling in these streets, you know what it do.
Absolutely. We actually got a lot to talk about today. A lot to talk about. Hrgovic cannot find somebody to take this title eliminator fight with him. We have several high-level names that has turned him down. So we definitely need to talk about that. News just broke. Joe Smith and Callum Johnson fight is off. Callum Johnson tested positive for COVID-19. That definitely sucks because that was going to be a good fight to kick off the year.
It was next week. It was next week.
Yeah, it was next week. Absolutely. My main man Anthony Joshua did an interview. Was it today or yesterday, Shane?
Well, it was brought up today, but I don't know when they recorded that. But it was brought up today.
Yeah, so he had some interesting things to say in that interview as well. Oh, you know what? And what was the other topic vlog? It was Stephen Fulton and
Shakur Stevenson. They had a couple little discussion about champion meeting champion situation, and hearing Dubois and Trevor Bryant might be in the mix since the dude Char has been removed from champion in recess or whatever that.
Yeah, I mean, there's some as I said, like whenever Don King wants to do business, like that fight was supposed to happen, man. It just can't happen. Like if I was Dubois, I would stay clear of Trevor Bryant, bro.
The WBA title, bro. It's a title situation, bro. So you gotta go after that.
Yeah, but
he win too.
No, but bro, let me tell you why it's not that straightforward. That title was supposed to be fought for. It hasn't been fought for in over 5 years because dudes just the fights just keep getting cancelled. It was Fraser Kendall versus Shannon Briggs. Fraser Kendall then versus Manuel Char. Manuel Char versus Trevor Bryant got cancelled like 3 times. Bro, these fights just keep getting cancelled year after year after year.
And to add on to that, Trevor Bryant's actually scheduled to fight someone that's under Don King's stable again. So that fight might possibly get, you know how that go.
That's what I'm saying. When Dubois was brought up, it was supposed to be something with that opponent. I know who you're talking about. I can't, I'm terrible with their names, but I ain't even sure his name. But I know what you're saying on that. That's why reading the article, I guess Dubois in his interview, he said he had got propositioned as a kind of standby situation, and this is out of his mouth. So maybe it's true, or maybe they just spitballing just to keep the title kind of active, even though there's not a fight set. Still keeping that that fighter Trevor Bryant, that possibility in the air. But if it's been dead for 3 to 4 years, just go fight, bro. Stop. I don't know what it is. Politics. We know what we're dealing with travel and things like that for the past couple years now. So that could be an issue too, especially with the international fighters that are supposed to have been fighting for that belt, Char and the other guys you mentioned earlier. So I don't know, bro. It's just I think they need to get it on, man, because unification is unification, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's not an actual legit WBA title. The full version is what Usyk's got, but obviously it's a regular belt. Obviously, I don't know what's happening with that. I know Dubois got a high ranking with that.
WBA.
Yeah,
it might be good though. I think it'll be a good shot. I think it's a winnable fight for him.
Where do you guys want to start with all of these topics, bro?
Man, let's get it in. We on them now.
Let's go Hrgovic first. Hrgovic is lined up for a title eliminator. For the people that don't know, Luis Ortiz turned down the opportunity. And then Joseph Parker turned down the opportunity. And
Before that, Hunter turned down that fight as well.
Michael Hunter turned down the opportunity as well. So he is possibly like boogeyman status at this moment currently. For the past maybe week or so, nobody wants to take that fight on. Vlog, you think it's just guys ducking, or what you think?
I think it's guys thinking it's not no real money behind it. I think that's what it is. I think it's a situation of where they have to travel. You know, Hrgovic don't got no big name over here, so bringing him over here won't create that buzz. You got to go to where he does have a little buzz. Can a fighter get over there? You know, with all these restrictions and things going on. So I just don't think it's a real buzz to fight him in that area. Now, if he was in the U.S., I think it'd be easy for him to get a fight. But because he's positioned where
I'm gonna ask you both a question. I'm gonna ask you both as a question. If you're the IBF and you see a fighter have 2-3 fighters turn them down for a final eliminator, do you not just elevate them as the mandatory just by default, or do you keep going through the rankings?
I would.
At some point you have to, but in another situation, it's almost a thing. Well, would they even get a real bag sanctioning him to fight for an IBF title? Like, they got to look at it from a business perspective too. It just can't be about moving bodies around and kind of keeping the organization active. Are you making money while you're doing that? Because this is almost a sanctioned fight. If it's an eliminator, there's a certain amount of cachet and a bag that goes along with that.
Obviously there's sanctioning fees for that fight.
Yeah, so you go to sanctioning fees. So they need to fight, but just elevating them by without a contest, they're losing, and then that just sets them back when it actually comes to probably seeing Usyk or AJ winner. Is there gonna be any real steam for that fight? I mean, Hrgovic name is. I mean, I respect him. I seen what he doing, but I don't know, bro. It's kind of hard being in the middle and you don't have a pull like that. You're not on social media like that. You don't got no active team, kind of, you know what I'm saying, hyping your name up in these streets like that. It's just us hardcores, you know what I mean? Casuals ain't gonna pay to see him in no title fight because they don't know excuse my French, they don't know who the fuck he is.
Who do you guys want to see him fight?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think Jared Anderson should be looking at that. I don't know where his rankings is in the IBF, but I think he's in a position to make a power move. And you know, Bob and them, they got the connections with the folks across the pond. So why not be able to try to work something out? 3-party deal. I don't know who Hrgovic is hooked up with, Matchroom or whoever.
Nah, he's with
Warren?
He's with a company called Boxer. So basically, Boxer just started a promotional company. They got like they basically Eubanks from Sauerland. The guys who ran World Boxing Super Series, those dudes. But
what's the name was talking about them? Boxing Low there. I missed the video. I'm gonna go check it out because I seen that in his title. Boxing.
But yeah, Eubank is with them. And remember the last card that Savannah Marshall and Clarissa Shields were going to be fighting on. That's a Boxer card. But the reason why what Blunt said makes so much sense is because Boxer are signed to Sky and they're exclusive with Sky. Top Rank's UK distribution is exclusive with Sky as well. So that just makes sense. But we
and then you look at his last fight. That was a 17 fight, I believe, one loss opponent. So if you're in Anderson's shoes, you're not looking for an 8-18 sort of guy. You're trying to continue to elevate and find these 20-1, these 20-0 type of heavyweights, or take these sort of title situations and run with it, bro.
With him being so young, he doesn't need to rush his career. You know, a Hrgovic fight is a potential fight that you could lose, and what are you losing for? Because he doesn't need to rush for a world title. He's got youth on his side.
Yeah, but youth is all strength if you're a heavyweight. So why waste that youth? if you're a heavyweight. I can understand not jumping in the weeds at welterweight and you're a 21-year-old star or 20-year-old star. I could get that. But a heavyweight, 23, 24, what you waiting for, bro? The old dudes to get even older? I don't need you to have an AJ resume. I need you knocking these dudes off in their prime. I'm going to respect that. And as I spoke on, the connections make a fight like that plausible because it'll elevate him to possibly see an AJ Usyk winner, giving Bob and them a bigger bag. They have to have a star. Right now, I believe outside of Shakur, Jared Anderson is their meal ticket. They have a big thing going on over there, Top Rank, but they need that headliner. They don't have Bud anymore. So who's next? It's got to be your heavyweight. And he's a bad boy. He's not a bad dude to kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Well, they still got Fury. They still got Fury.
I mean, Fury's at the tail end. He's another situation we need to talk about. But he's almost your Jake Paul right now. He's almost in that sort of scenario. Let's make what we can make on him.
That's a little disrespectful, bro.
No, bro,
that's a little disrespectful.
I didn't mean it like that, though. You know what I'm saying? I get you taking it like that, but I don't mean it like that. I mean, there's not no 8-fight plan with Fury. You understand what I'm saying? You're not looking at the long run. Fury has 2 to 3 good fights. If you talking about fighting Francis Ngannou, I know you on some Jake Paul shit right now. So
I think that's smoke and mirrors, bro. I won't even lie.
That's not, bro. That is they want to do. They want to do that. They really want to do the bag that Mayweather and what's the boy from Ireland who actually can't fight at all?
Conor McGregor.
Yeah, McGregor. That was a real bag. I ain't gonna lie. I paid for that goddamn fight. So I know they made a nice bag off that shit. So this is in that line, but you fighting a dude who name really dead in the streets. He ain't had a heavyweight title. He ain't had a fight since he won the title. And then they already had a dude getting ready to fight him. He was on some interim shit. So that it could be like Shane said, a hype job, but I mean they on it though, because he talking about making this shit happen in April. So that's something that they on.
I mean, they got, what's it called? 2 days, 3 days before they have to answer to the WBC. So I'm going to wait till that plays out, bro.
Man, they sticking to that 80-20. And if
they're going to stick to it. But are they going to withdraw themselves from the purse bid? That's my question.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because in order for them to fight Ngannou or anyone else, they would have to withdraw themselves from that fight.
They already set themselves up to do that because they saying that they're able to fall back on this lineal title situation.
But they would have to give up the strap.
In an interim situation, that's what it would be. An interim, because it's about whoever would fight White. It would be an interim WBC interim championship.
But Dylan White's already the interim champion.
This is where I'm confused. So he's still fighting for a title or a lady already got. Doesn't make any sense.
The reason why it don't make any sense, Blanc, is because they've ordered the fight for the full version of the world title. Let's say Blunt, for example, me and you are ordered to fight, and you take the percentage of 20% that they're giving, and then all of a sudden I walk away. But you're still left at the table like, I'm willing to take it. And I'm assuming if I was Dylan White anyway, I'd be like, cool, I'll take the 20%. Let's go to the negotiating table, because I know, as you guys all know, Tyson Fury is full of shenanigans. So there's no point trying to negotiate something. Just call his bluff on it. See if he's true to his word. Because at this point, it looks like they're trying to sidestep him.
I told you that. He is the king of putting this shit off, bro. I don't know what he does, what these politicians do, the plans they come up with. They in there putting shit in a bowl and just coming, let's run with this one. Because sticking to 80-20 is a hard line, first of all. That's a very hard line to come out the door with. And then it's almost like that's part of your plan. So as soon as you run out of the 80-20 situation, you're already discussing another way to kind of fall out of that WBC title defense. So I mean, it's like we said, it's Mr. Shenanigans. I like to see what they wordplay gonna be for why they don't take this white fight. I
Get
really
front to these comments.
Um,
You guys have been slow in the comments today, though.
yeah. Annie Redham, what's going on with you? Said Ngannou versus Fury, no money in it. I can
agree with that too. I mean,
I can agree with that.
Casual joint though. You probably would. Them UFC dudes, they'll fuck with it. I think so. A little bit. It wouldn't be McGregor Mayweather though. I don't think
it wouldn't be crazy numbers, but it'll do a little something. Willie G in the building said, "Good afternoon, fellas." Willie G, what's going on with you, player? Annie said, "Forget Ngannou, let's make White versus Fury, and then Fury versus winner of Usyk Joshua too."
The problem with that is the only money fight there, big money fight there, is if Joshua beats Usyk, because Usyk ain't a big money fight neither.
That's the thing about being a champ like him, bro. That you still not the bag. That's freaking weird. You got 3 belts and you still ain't the bag, bro. That's weird.
But it's a lot of cases like that in boxing where guys have belts and they're not the bag. Like I literally seen Gabe Rosado call out my man
DA, yeah, bro. I gave him the perfect name, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I gave him the perfect name, and it's a friend of the family, Toriano and Gabe, get that shit cracking, bro. That is a good fight for 2 dudes coming off a loss against the same guy. That's a nice little bounce back fight right there, bro.
Yeah, it just goes to show that you can have a belt, you can have multiple belts. If your popularity is not there, or you really don't have a bag behind you, you run into the same problems as somebody that don't have a belt, or somebody that's just in contention or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it is crazy because Usyk is he's still behind the 8 ball with 3 belts. Like, he's still behind the 8 ball. Like, Tyson Fury could sidestep him for a couple of bigger fights in terms of money.
And it's very rare because not many fighters are calling out Usyk neither, which I find very weird.
No, Fury did though. Fury did. He had been saying he would like that fight, but he even said that just on the strength that he's the current champ, and I think out of respect. But I don't think he wants that fight out of a challenge. I think he just wants it just giving him respect. Like, he's the current champ. Why wouldn't you want to fight the guy? And then you really are the guy. And then people may stop calling you Mr. Shenanigans if you're able to do that. But I doubt it, because he just don't seem to be that sort of guy, bro. He just seemed to be a character in boxing right now. He ain't like some hog that's really trying to clean the division up and walk off into the sunset like the monster that we all think he is, or a lot of the fans do. Because goddamn, Fury was shit and invincible in these boxing streets. You know what I mean? What was that?
I don't get it. I don't get why people think Fury's invincible. He could have lost twice against Wilder. Let's keep it all the way 100.
I mean, he did get bopped in that fight, though. I mean, but you got to give him a lot of respect for being able to get up, too. Because how many times Wilder done dropped him in them 3 fights? That's a lot of times to be hitting the canvas and getting up from one of the biggest punches in this era. So yeah, I don't like the dude, but man, I do gotta respect some of the shit he doing, man. Especially because it's been clean this last fight. I personally didn't see anything, so I ain't mad whatever he do. If he don't decide to take the damn WBC, John, go ahead and get my money fight.
A vlog. I actually got a question for you, bro.
I'm coming around.
So I'm gonna throw this at you. Let's just say hypothetically, right? Fury beats Usyk and he beats AJ next 2 fights. Is he Hall of Fame?
Oh, for sure. That's no question. That's undisputed. You talking undisputed heavyweight champ? When the last time we seen one of them?
Leonard Lewis.
That's what I'm saying. 20 years plus, bro. It's a long fucking time. But I'm not mad at him for chasing the bag at this point in his career either, bringing up this Ngannou situation, because that's them two going back and forth. That's not no media.
I don't think that generates the money that people think it does.
You bro, the UFC averages 700,000 pay-per-views. That's their average.
It'll do some numbers.
At what price? At what price? At what price?
No, their joints is high. Theirs is high. There's
about 69.
60, 70?
Yeah, 69 for their pay-per-view.
They're averaging 700,000
for their big cards. Yeah, not
So
all.
Why don't these fighters get improved?
Don't get me twisted. Not your ESPN Plus Saturday night sort of Jones, but the real pay-per-views, they do numbers, bro. They do numbers.
Is it gone to a pay-per-view fight on UFC?
Oh, for sure. It's the heavyweight champ. It's the heavyweight champ. There ain't nothing but pay-per-view when you the heavyweight champ.
So he's getting 700,000 pay-per-view buys.
They don't get it. That's the thing. That's what Fury said. If you look at they back and forth, Fury was like, yo, what's guaranteed for you is a loss and a bag. That's what Fury said. I ain't mad at him. I'm not. I think he can outbox Ngannou. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey Shane, to answer your question though, the reason why they don't really see the money like that is because in the MMA, like when you go back, boxing always had a fighter to push the envelope from a business standpoint to advance the business going forward in terms of how much money fighters get. MMA never really had that until the McGregors came along, and he pushed the envelope for guys to get more money. Before McGregor, there really wasn't anyone that was really saying, yo, like, I'm not fighting unless you give me X amount of money. Like, they never pushed the envelope. Like, they just was content with the bag that they were given, and that was that. So
to break it down, them guys are they signed fight contracts, meaning you got 5 fights, you got 6 fights. Sometimes 8 fights is a pretty long contract with them, but that's only on guys they really coming in building as a star. They'll give them an 8-fight contract. But within that, the fights could be so big, you're not really seeing the back end money. This is where the guys are complaining, like, yo, we on these major cards and you still paying me the $5,000 from 8 months ago. You see what I'm saying? So that's where how Jeff is breaking it down, though. And it's kind of unfair because the guys make the cards, not just the promotion. The promotion does its job. They hype it, commercials.
I personally, bro, I'm going to keep it real. I wouldn't want to see an Ngannou Fury fight, bro. I would have wanted to see it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to see it.
So what's the bag for Fury?
I'll answer that question, but let me tell you why I wouldn't want to see it. I wouldn't want to see anyone go in the ring with Wilder who isn't a boxer, because Wilder will put you to sleep and put you in a casket. Wilder.
Oh.
I wouldn't want to see anyone go in there with Wilder, because if you don't know about boxing, when Wilder hits you, you're going into another world. Now, the same thing applies with Fury in the sense that Fury is a boxer. He's a natural born boxer. He's been boxing his whole entire life. For you to put someone who's never boxed before in there against him, when we know Fury's been in there with the best of boxers, the best of punches, you're not really giving him much of a chance. I don't really want to see that.
Now, what I'm going to tell you to argue against that, this motherfucking Ngannou. This dude is like Mike Tyson of that MMA shit, bro. His handlebar game is bonkers. I think he knocked the dude head off his shoulders. They just put the dude head back on like a year ago.
But it's not boxing.
Hold on, Shane. That's what I'm saying. That's the X factor in a bout like that. Can that power that we know this dude have, can he get it off on a dude like Fury? And more than likely, yeah. Because Fury's ate some shots. He's not invincible defensively. So in that realm, it's interesting.
Delivering punches in UFC and translating that power with 10-ounce gloves on at heavyweight when a dude's using lateral move, bro, it's different. It's different.
I get you. I agree with everything you're saying. I can't even argue with you on that.
Ngannou isn't even that big. He's just big for UFC.
Man, that motherfucker a monster, homie.
No, but if you look at
Ngannou's what, like 240?
No, he's like 230 something. He's not that much. He's not that much bigger than Wilder.
Let me look that shit up.
And Fury's coming in, as Blunt says, 475 pounds.
It looks like a mountain, homie. Stop playing. Francis Ngannou, size and weight.
Willie G said Fury called Usyk out. You guys think Wilder is coming back? Yeah, he coming back. It's just a matter of against who. Willie G, UFC guys fight on fixed amount contracts for X amount of fights. That's a fact. And that's the problem. They don't, the way their contracts are structured, it leaves little wiggle room for them to renegotiate. And then they're all under one company, so there's nowhere else really for them to go. It's other companies, but it's nowhere near.
That's why I don't
UFC
understand why boxing fans want.
Let me give you them numbers real quick. 6'4", 250.
I thought he was 240 something.
Fair enough.
250.
Yeah, he a big boy. He a big boy.
Yeah.
You wanna know how I know he was around that size, yo? Because it's a picture of him, Padman, and what's his other trainer?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. The dude, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name.
The guy
he changed the
on the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
They all had a picture together, and he looked like he was bigger than
what's
both
his
of them.
name? Dewey
Cooper. Yeah, Dewey Cooper. You know,
all of them dudes thick as shit too.
Yeah, he looked bigger than Dewey.
Ngannou's probably round about the same size as White.
Yeah, that's actually more comparable. They the same size. He just got a better
kill White. I ain't gonna lie. I think he'll kill Dillian White.
Are you insane in a boxing match? Are you insane?
Man, Dillian White don't take a punch very well. If you let Povetkin put you on the canvas like that,
bro, Dillian White will send that dude
under the ring.
Dillian White will send that dude into a casket, bro. This is a boxing.
I'm just saying.
If it was in MMA, Dylan's going in a casket. If it was in boxing, bro,
that's the thing, bro. Dude is not a wrestler, so that's the thing. Dude is a striker. So with him being a striker, okay, bro. It's like, let me finish. It just makes it intriguing. If you talking about throwing a wrestler in there with a pure boxer, you can't sell it. It's not gonna work. I don't care how big of a wrestling star this dude may be in that world. It won't work. If you're talking a pure striker,
it's like getting. Oh, can you guys hear me? It's like getting a winger in rugby to play running back for NFL. It ain't gonna work, bro. Just because you run in the same sport and you hold the same type of ball, doesn't mean it's the same thing, bro. Like, just because you strike in one discipline, it's a different discipline, bro. And
I'm not arguing with you on that level, Shane. I totally agree with you. I'm thinking of why, as a fan or as a casual, people want to see it. When you talking about a guy with the power of Ngannou, and then can he tower a mountain like Fury? Like, you got to break that mountain down, man, or crumble it from the top. You knock the peak off, the rest of the shit gonna just start folding over. Or you destroy the foundation, you know what I mean? The peak gonna tip over and fall. So can Ngannou do that? He's a tough guy. He could take a punch. He's never been knocked out. So, you know what I mean? Like, I just think it's interesting.
Does he have the gas tank? Because that's what's the main thing that goes when you come into boxing.
That's 15 rounds. No, he does 5 minutes. So 5 minute rounds, five rounds, 25 minutes. It'll be interesting. He's had an issue now in that world. He's had gas tank issues. So,
and also you got to remember, bro, Tyson Fury, for example, those dudes are known for making fights dirty, bro.
I'm not gonna argue with you because the boy McGregor was doing the same shit, making that fight dirty, and Floyd just was like, "Okay, then that's the way we gonna play," and he grunt that motherfucker down. But again, that was him getting tired too. So he kind of not being prepared for that boxing win is different from that MMA win. He got tired. So I give it to you. You got great points when it comes to the differences and why it will work and won't work in a particular matchup. But
I mean, the only time I've ever, and I'll be honest, the only time I've ever wanted an MMA dude to come over to UFC, UFC dude to come over to boxing is with when Conor McGregor was gonna fight Paulie. I would have wanted to see that. I'm not even gonna lie.
I think McGregor would have won that fight too, yo.
He could have.
Straight boxing match. I think he'd have won that fight, yo. Because the thing was like when that whole sparring thing happened and he put out the clips with Paulie, you could tell by his reaction that some of that was true. Like he was real uptight, man. Like he was real uptight. But if you next level past somebody and some little young boy come in and talking shit, you'd be like, all right, man, like whatever. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you brush it to the side. But he was so hype. I ain't seen him that hype until that the Broner was like, he took his girl. He took his belt and his girl. He's like, stop bragging about taking my side piece. Stop bragging about taking my side piece. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't seen him that hype in a while.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, yeah. If I'm in a ring and a dude says that to me, bro, we're fighting after the belt, bro.
You know what? Paulie actually talked about that after recently too. He said that during that fight, like before that fight, he just signed a deal with Showtime to be an announcer for them during that time. So his plan was to really sucker punch him. Like during the interview, he was gonna sucker punch him, but he couldn't do it, and he only could say but so much because he just signed the Showtime deal to commentate. He would have lost his gig, so he just talked about that like maybe like a week ago. So that's interesting that Paulie came up.
Street dude, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't even have done that. AB's supposed to be a street dude. Let's put it that way.
I mean, he's a court and jail representative as far as I'm concerned. That man, stay in the system, boy.
Literally.
Yeah. Willie G, UFC guys can't box with the exception of Anderson Silva. Now Silva do got hands.
I mean,
Silva do got hands.
I would have. You know what? I'm gonna keep it real. If we're entertaining this Jake Paul situation, a dude who actually wouldn't mind fighting Jake Paul is actually Anderson Silva. I wouldn't watch the fight, but
how you suggested it? Don't you not go watch it?
I'm not watching Jake Paul until he fights a boxer. Until he fights a legit boxer.
Anderson Silva is 62 years old, bro. And he had like when I say he broke his leg in half, motherfucker. I mean, bro, you can't. That's not. I respect what he did.
Anderson Silva, how old is he?
72. He just turned 72 during this conversation. So I'm just saying, he's an older dude, man. He's been around since the 2000s, bro. This dude that's not. I mean, it's for a casual fight exhibition. All right, 2 names. Woo, I get it. This dude can't prove nothing to me. I don't even know how he came up in this conversation.
Yeah. Burt Wood in the building, man. Big shout out to Burt Wood that said, G5, who am I? A champion is someone who gets up when he can't. No, much respect to Fury. Like, I mean, that's part of being a champion, like battling adversity and being able to get up.
Charles Martin got up when he couldn't.
Hey Shane, come on, man. Come on, Shane. Willie G, let's go back to the HBO days when the best fought the best. You know what? Willie G, I think the biggest thing I take from the HBO days was the platform for the guys that was on the come up. Like you had a better idea and you had a better sample size of the guys coming up. So you knew whether a guy was legit or they was a fraud because they was on Boxing After Dark probably 4 times a year. Or they was on like a Tuesday night fights or something like that 4 or 5 times a year. So you had a real good sample size. Now you only see a guy maybe twice a year, and we're trying to project whether it's a good sample size or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's them HBO days, man. That's throwback. Like that's throwback for sure. Like if you had to school someone on boxing, you take them back to the HBO days to get them, like, you know what I'm saying, beginning stages. If you was trying to show them, like, just trying to school them on boxing, period.
Can we go back to the topic at hand, though? I want to ask you guys, who would you personally pick to see Hrgovic fight? If you had one choice, who would it be?
I gave you mine.
What was your...
Jared Anderson.
Jared Anderson.
That wouldn't be my pick. I think Jared Anderson loses that fight, and I think he loses it just because he's young, and I just don't think it's fair because Hrgovic is a dude who can old man his way through that fight, and it just be a bit unfortunate. I just feel like he's a bit too green for that fight.
That's a good question. I don't. Probably the one person I would have said he turned the fight down. That was Joseph Parker.
I mean, personally, I already told. I want to see the. I would love to see Hrgovic versus Yoka. Like that would be my first pick. Hrgovic versus Yoka. Like that fight.
Oh, I got you. Otto Wallen.
That's a good fight. That's a good fight.
That's a good fight.
Good shit, vlog. That was a good fight. That's a good fight. I actually got it. You know what? I actually got to co-sign that. I actually got to co-sign that. Like that's a good fight. That's a good fight. Hey, vlog. Since you mentioned it, who you like in that fight?
I gotta go Hrgovic.
I need to do some homework. I mean, I like Wallen. I like his ability to move, and he's long, so he can use his.
He's not longer than Hrgovic, though.
He fight longer than Hrgovic. Hrgovic don't fight long, bro.
No, Hrgovic fight long.
No, he fight long.
Like outside, I see him.
That's his bread and butter.
Bro, Hrgovic fight like a miniature Vitaly Klitschko, bro.
Yeah, that's his bread and butter.
Just like Vitaly. He fights literally just like Vitaly.
Just a long arm. Close to some of his fights, and I think that get him in trouble because he gets.
You see him get what? You see him get what?
Get close in fights.
I mean, this is literally his style. Jab, right hand, grab. Jab, right hand, grab.
That's what I mean. Get close. That's what I was saying. He gets close. So, to me, somebody that can defend that, like a Wallen, I'm long. Bing, bing, I'm a slide. And he uses his feet very well because he used them well against Fury. So, I'm thinking that's an interesting fight. I like it. I like him to be able to.
It's definitely an interesting fight. Me and
I like Wallen in that fight.
Yeah, I like
Wallen. I like Wallen in that fight, man.
I like Hrgovic. I think Hrgovic got the power. He's got the size. He's got the strength. Like, I just feel like, and he's a dude who he just got that awkward style. He's very difficult to get your shots off, and he makes it hard for you because when he throws, he's a selfish fighter. He's one of them fighters. I'm gonna get my work off and make everything messy after. You know, I'm just gonna messy it up.
He the type of dude to eat at the table and then just do like an angel wings on the dining room.
You ain't getting nothing.
Yo, he one of them type dudes. Big shout out.
I was gonna give you another analogy, but I'm not even gonna do it because it'll be a bit great.
Big shout out to D Lovely. G5 is so fine. That is hilarious. We know y'all.
I hope it's a female. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, listen, your eyes work. I tell you that much. Your eyes definitely work for sure. Yo, let's get the Joe Smith. Joe Smith, Callum Johnson, man. That's some horrible news. For sure. He's just had some bad luck, man. Like
Joe Smith.
Yes. Real bad luck, man. I was really looking forward to that fight. Really looking forward to that fight.
Any talk about a fill-in? Any talk about a backup fighter?
Nah, it's too close. Nah. You know, top rank don't have backups. They don't really have backups. Like PBC will pay a guy to stay ready and back up. You know what I'm saying? But Top Rank don't do that. And then it's a week before the fight, so it's really nobody they can pull.
To me, like, what, he had a fight cancelled earlier last year. Well, he had 2 fights cancelled last year because the Vlasov fight got cancelled, then got pushed back, and then he was supposed to have a fight in September. Who was he fighting against? Was it supposed to be Jacobs, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And then that fight, I think Joe Smith caught COVID, and now this fight's got cancelled. I mean, bro, if with these variants coming up, bro, you gotta put some contingency plans as promoters. You gotta do something.
That's the thing, but Bob Arum's so cheap though, and he like, man, fuck it. If they catch something, I'm just gonna cancel this shit. That's how he think. You know what I'm saying? But I'll be having like a backup to the backup and shit. Like, man. That's why his cards never. If you notice, his cards never get Like cancel. Like they may level down. They may level down, but they never cancel though. You know what I'm saying? Burt Wood said a champion is someone who gets up when he can't. Jack Dempsey. For sure, it's plenty. He said, how about Joyce? That's a good fight.
But
Joyce
Joyce is already.
Joyce in that WBC situation though.
Yeah, Joyce is kind of like on a higher level.
WBO. He's already #1 contender for the WBO as well. So
that's a fact.
You don't want to go getting in the mix with a lower tier belt like the IBF. So
I wouldn't say the IBF's lower tier, bro.
I'm just saying.
You know the thing that's crazy. A vlog. You know the thing that's crazy. Like the WC is arguably the most corrupt, but they're the most prestigious. Don't you find that funny? That is hilarious. Like
the one that's the most consistent in the IBF. Now they seeming to start to run into little troubles here lately, which you ain't really seen from them. They just been consistently having a representative champion working, a la Bernard Hopkins style. So I just find this interesting. You can't find somebody to fight for your heavyweight contendership. That's just
bro. But it's just I feel like it's more down to the fact that it's Hrgovic, bro. I think it's the fact that it's Hrgovic.
No money.
Yeah, bro.
I don't want to. It's like why go lose and I ain't gonna get paid.
Yeah, that is literally it. That is literally it, bro.
Like if I'm gonna lose, I better have a high price tag on it.
Like Jeff brought up a good example. This was literally the same situation 3 years ago, Jeff, when Dylan White got offered the fight to fight Pulev for the IBF mandatory, and there was no money on the line.
What was that, like 85-15 or something like that? Something crazy.
There was
like 85-15 split.
There was no money on the line, and Jeff even said to take it. Then he said,
"I was like, yo, I said take the 85. I said take the 15%, whip Pulev's ass, and I'm like, all that money that you missed in the Pulev fight, you're gonna get it right back in the AJ fight." And look, I was like, you're gonna get it right back in the AJ fight.
Pulev ended up getting the world title fight before
Dillian White. They don't listen, bro. They do not listen at all, man. Burt Wood, Shane Jack Dempsey fights Patawa Tommy, 6'6", 245. Willard was knocked down 7 times by Dempsey in the first round, suffered a broken jaw, broken ribs, several broken teeth. Yeah, bro, back in that era, bro. If you landed, because you got to realize, Bert, like those gloves were smaller.
And straight horsehair as well.
Straight horsehair as well. Like they weren't no memory foam gloves back then. That was straight horsehair. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like them gloves is a vlog. You remember them thin silic gloves your mom used to send you out with? As a kid, them Jones be thick as hell,
man, with nothing under them.
Nothing under them, nothing under them. Like
ain't nothing. You look good, but
yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like, so that's what those gloves represented back then. They didn't protect your hands, they didn't protect your knuckles, nothing. Like, and so that means they ain't protecting your face. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna have broken jaws and broken ribs and stuff like that.
Teeth knocked out.
Yeah. Teeth knocked out, the whole 9. You know what I'm saying? So no, that's 100% facts, man. But I don't know if they're talking about rescheduling the Joe Smith fight, or I don't know. They haven't said anything.
I mean, before that, which I saw, I was real happy with what I saw from Joe Smith. He said they interviewed him and they asked him, who would he like to fight? And he said something that nobody's saying right now. He said, everybody wants to fight Canelo because of the money. But for me, I want legacy fights. So I want to fight Beterbiev and Bivol.
That's what let me say this, Shane. What you said is true and untrue, because I spoke on it. I came into the year giving fighters like him their flowers. Him, Stanionis, these sort of dudes that are not running, that are not hiding, not saying, well, give me a couple dollars and I'll go sit down and, wait till the next time. Stanionis wants better. He wants yeah, there you go. You got to respect that. Joe Smith, he like, okay, I see the bag there, but them guys is the glory. I respect that. Now, anybody tap into the video, man. It's up on a YouTube channel, man. Give me some views and shit, man. But yeah, I give them their flowers, man. They deserve it, though.
No, that's 100% facts, man. And you got to look at it this way too. Like he's willing to bet on himself as well. Because I'm like, if he beats a Bivol or if he beats a Beterbiev, that probably gets him a Canelo fight. Probably gets him a Canelo fight. You know what I'm saying? So he's kind of betting on himself as well.
Everyone's talking about Canelo at 175, but the truth is, I don't think Canelo even wants to move to 175. He hasn't showed any interest to do it.
Yeah, he showed interest going at the cruiserweight though.
Exactly.
This dude is about to retire. I mean, bro, like, all right, you go back to 160. Who do you fight? I mean, 168. Who do you fight, bro? Do you try to make Carlo come up and fight you? That's the only advantage.
What about Benavidez?
A vlog. Hey, yo,
fight nobody. That's a
how many? Let me put this out here. Let me ask this to y'all. How many legit money fights does Canelo have where he's not the only one that's bringing the money in?
None.
I can't think of any.
None.
So he's literally
only one where he wouldn't be is if somebody in 175 went on a run and grabbed those 3 straps. Then there might be a sense of balance because you got a 3 belt holder, a 2 belt holder that's got some wins under his belt, got a little steam with him. That might balance it a little bit, not major, not to 50-50 or shit like that.
What about Benavidez?
He will never fight anybody that's a challenge in the ring, bro.
No, but I'm asking the question in terms of does Benavidez bring money to the table? I don't know what this guy.
No, he's not yet, bro. I don't think so, bro.
He should, but he just don't have he don't. You would think he would have a big fan base, but he doesn't.
Situation yet, bro. To me, I don't think they've given him a big fight.
Yo,
but fights where he looked outstanding.
Hey, vlog, check this out. There's certain guys that I feel like if they was with somebody else, they would be a star. If Benavidez was with Eddie Hearn,
oh yeah,
he's a star right now.
Yeah. Oh fuck,
right now, he will be a star. So Benavidez is getting the opportunities that he's getting, but he's kind of stuck in place. He's kind of in treadmill mode.
But I'm gonna say something that's probably funny, but I think the biggest person who will be bringing the biggest bag, and it's just so ironic, around that maybe 160 to 175 region is probably Andrade. If you think about it.
No, I don't agree.
No, that's untrue because Gabe used the example of Andrade not having.
He said, "You got the belt, but I'm gonna bring the fans." That's so disrespectful.
It's true though. It's true. No, wait. The question was,
you coming off.
No, the question was, who is bringing the bag? The fact that he's got a promotional company and a company that's going to put money behind him, that's my point. Like, I'll give you an example. Okay. PBC ain't putting money behind Benavidez. PBC ain't putting money behind none of the dudes they have at 168. Top Rank ain't putting money behind Beterbiev. Eddie Hearn ain't putting money behind Bivol. Top Rank ain't putting money behind Callum Johnson. Joe Smith Jr. So who's being put? The only person I can think of is either Charlo or Andrade. That's the only 2 I can think of.
Yeah, I think Charlo. That's what I said because it would be somebody with a name, but he still has a physical advantage over. This dude is not going in there with the prime cut meat. He's looking for the meat that's been sat out for a couple days, got a little some scars on it. It's been shit and pissed on by the flies. He want to go beat it up. Then I'm seeing what this dude do because you want to go fight a dude that don't nobody know and get a belt for what reason, bro? Like, history, bro. Come on, bro. This dude's starting to become.
Let's run through these next 2 comments. Can I get these because this is my division?
Go ahead.
Bert Wood says Angelo Leo versus Aaron Almeida. Did the right person win? Personally, I remember when Almeida fought. What's it called? Almeida fought Luis Neri, and I saw the way Luis Neri fought him. I never thought Almeida had even a chance. I didn't even think he had a chance. So
I thought he won that fight. I thought he won that fight. Close.
It was a close fight, but I didn't think he had a chance.
I thought Almeida won that fight.
Against Neri or against Leo?
No, Leo.
No,
oh, yeah, I thought he won too. But
no,
he
definitely didn't beat Neri. That's my point. After watching him against Neri, I thought he didn't stand a chance against Leo. So when I saw it, it was much more competitive than I thought.
You know what that fight remind me of? Martinez Rolly, where everybody just thought Rolly was going to mop Martinez. Martinez don't got no power. Rolly was going to walk him down and get him out of there. Rolly got a boxing lesson. And I think
I'm still vlog. I'm still hurting for you on that, bro. I'm still hurting for you on that, man. That was a big ass part. That was a part. He lost a parlay off of that, bro.
How much?
It was a nice chunk. I don't remember the amount.
It was like 600.
Yeah.
That was one fight too. Because remember I tell y'all, always sneak me a couple underdogs on my joint. Just so you numbers, get them looking, what I mean, interesting. You want to be okay, you want to be all right, yeah. So I always slip an underdog or two just to see. I'll never always roll with them, but on that card, I just felt like Jackson was going to outbox him, and he did. But I didn't know they was going to be cheating like that. But PBC been on a bad run with these calls. I ain't lying, bro. This been a year and a half. Just at least one big card a year, you have some straight buffoonery with the calls. Like, I just don't understand it, but it's part of boxing. And hopefully it don't happen on my money next time. That was terrible because he clearly lost. It was 7-3, easy.
Yeah,
easy.
That was a 7-3 fight.
Yeah. Who is the best fight? Who is the best fight? You mean, what is the best fight? Ahmed Aliyev, Danny Roman, Ronnie Rios, Carlos Castro, Luis Neri, Rais Ali, Stephen Fulton, Brandon Figueroa, Angelo Leo, Hazo can't even pronounce his name, and Aaron Almeida. Personally, Danny Roman and Ahmed Aliyev already fought. Fulton and Figueroa already fought. Fulton and Angelo Leo fought. To me, I want to see undisputed. So I'm going to say Ahmed Aliyev versus Stephen Fulton.
That's already in the works, though. They already, like tinkering with that fight sometime this year. So
what's it gonna be on? PBC or DAZN?
That's a good question.
I would run with that with PBC for the pay-per-view situation.
I'm just saying because
I would give the lead. If I was DAZN, I'd take a step back, wait for my check. I ain't gonna lie. I would take a step back and wait for my check because they have the fighter with the bigger name as far as
But DAZN are trying to launch stuff in Uzbekistan, so that fight might go to Uzbek, bro.
They was in Russia cooking with the Bivol card.
Man said Bivoli.
Whatever. Yeah, everybody know what I'm talking about, man. I'm sorry, man.
He said Bivoli. That sounds like something you put on a sandwich, yo.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna lie, bro. That situation, it looked like they was in there smoking. You know how the old school,
that's true, bro. That's true.
Yeah, smoking, niggas is in the back gambling and shit.
I remember them old. That's true. I remember them old school fights. You got so much smoke in the background.
Yes, sir.
Getting high in the ring and stuff like that.
Like, man, they got the cigars, they got the vodka at the side of the ring. They giving the fighters shots in between rounds. Like, this shit was hilarious, bro. That scene, it looked at throwback. I ain't mad at them for setting it up. They had to do what they had to do. The technical situation over there in Russia, they shit up. That's a big country. I know they got a lot of money, but that card, it looking like a factory or something. They was like, yeah, just bring them in, man. We gonna throw this ring up real quick. I'm looking, it just seemed like it was smoke everywhere, bro. I know it wasn't, but it just seemed it was great.
Nah, I got that. Now I think back on it, it's a fact, bro. Me and Jeff was watching it on the channel. It looked smoked out. Now you say it, I can't even remember. It's the same day when Hank Lundy fought. What's that dude's name? Hank Lundy's last fight.
Oh yeah, he got knocked out.
Yeah, he what's the dude's name? You know what? You know, hey bro, hey vlog, you gotta do a video on your man Cody Crowdy.
Man, that boy.
He had beef with Cody too.
Man, that boy reached back out to me, man. I'm like, I'm giving him mad pub. You know what I'm saying? Threw him on the video. He done jumped in the DM on it. Was like, all good word with you. All right, man. Well, holla at your folks. This motherfucker went Casper on the motherfucking shit. Like, yeah.
He ain't reached back out to him, man.
Yeah,
like,
it's cool though. I ain't no hate. Ain't no hate though.
Vlog was like, man, he's like, man, fuck Cody. He's like, fuck Cody. He's like, he's small time anyway, man. Dude, that was hilarious, bro. Burt Wood, 122 class is stacked top 10 fighters. That's why it's my favorite division in the sport.
And they fight each other, so
everybody's scrapping. You know, to answer your previous question, if I can get Luis Nery, Rais Alim, I think that'd be a hell.
No, that's a dope fight as well.
That's a dope ass fight.
Fight.
Yeah, like
that's Alameda and Alim. That's a nice one.
Alameda and Alim, that's a good fight as well, man.
Like, even Alim versus Figueroa, but Figueroa said he's moving up, so
I got, and this is my fault, fellas. I gotta get with Alim. Like Rais done told me 4 times he ready to jump on him and his trainer, and I just gotta line it up. But I would love to have him on because he gotta talk this 122. He gotta talk this. Yeah.
Hey, now we talking 122. Can we talk a bit of history?
Yes.
If that fight was to happen, would that be as historical as what Bernard did? As far as jumping up 2 divisions and grabbing a strap from 122.
What fight?
And Shakur Stevenson. Would that be?
You said Shakur and who?
Fulton.
Yeah.
So he'll be jumping from 122 to what?
130. 130.
Would that be a fight like that? Would it be recognized historically the way we've seen these fights in our past, in our lifetime? Be such an accomplishment in boxing.
I mean, if he won, then 100%.
I'm just saying, it's the lower divisions. We know they don't get the glory.
I'm gonna keep it real, bro. And this might sound crazy, but I'm gonna say it. If Fulton beats Ahmed Aliyev, Fulton can arguably be the greatest fighter that's left Philadelphia.
You are being disrespectful right now.
No, I'm gonna tell you why, bro. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you had Joe Frazier, you had Bernard Hopkins, but
that's
you've
never. Once you say Bernard,
all right, cool, but
else. That's it.
In myself for why I'm saying it.
Bro, this is Bernard Hopkins, bro. This is a man that ain't even supposed to be. Went on a 10-year run, bro.
But Bernard Hopkins has never been the best in his era. Fulton would be the best in his era. That's my point. Hopkins has never been the best in his era.
How can you say a man is not the best in his era and he never lost in his era?
He lost to Roy Jones.
When he got the IBF belt, he went on a 10-year run.
He lost to Roy Jones. He lost to Roy Jones.
That was before he got the belt.
But that's his era, though.
He wasn't even in his prime when he got that fight. He wasn't who we know him to be. This is why Roy never went back to go get that fight. Roy did not want to see the improved Bernard.
And that's my point. I said arguably. I said you can arguably say that Fulton is the best fighter to leave. And this is why I say it, because I'm someone I've never been to Philly before, but I just left Philly, and all I'm hearing is boots. That's all I heard my whole entire trip. Boots, 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 boots. Here's a dude who's a unified world champion in your city. He's fought 10 undefeated fighters in a row. He's fought 2 world champions back to back. He's 1 fight away from undisputed, and his name's quite like a church mouse in the city. I don't get that.
Let me speak on that. Stephen Fulton, because of the weight class that he's in, it's very hard for those guys to get a lot of steam as far as like their popularity is concerned, because it's not a lot of people paying attention to the smaller weight classes, and that's always the battle with these smaller weight classes. Now, in terms of Stephen Fulton, his name being quiet in the Philly streets, yes, they are quiet in the Philly streets, and it's a shame that it's quiet in the Philly streets.
Jeff,
Um, mhm.
Jeff, and and this goes back to your point that you were saying a couple months ago. If Fulton then decides, you know what, I'm gonna leave the city and try to build my name somewhere else, everybody will say he turned his back on the city and he didn't do nothing for the city. You see
Right,
my point? So
right.
he
So,
can't win, bro. It's the same thing that when I was in Philly, they were saying that Bernard Hopkins turned his back on the city and
and
didn't
I
do anything
right,
for the city.
and I told you, whoever said that, you could send them my way, and I would tell them exactly why they wrong. Tell them
Yeah, because
exactly why they
we're in the
wrong.
same situation, and Philadelphia, with so much talent, is fans are the last person who should criticize fighters in
But
Philly. Because the last time there was a major fight in Philly where a major amount of tickets were sold, bro, it wasn't even two dudes from Philly. It was Beterbiev and Voldzic. Because the dudes in Philly don't support their own fighters. So you can't begrudge someone for going outside the city because you don't support your fighters.
Philly get the most love from people outside the city. That's just a fact. It don't matter if it's fighters, basketball players, rappers, R&B singers. It doesn't matter. Like Philly supports a Philly product after everybody else supports it. That's just the facts of it, and that's throughout Philly history. As far as your previous comment, if Stephen Fulton beats Akhmed Delayev and he beats like a Shakur, that puts him in the top five, like
Top,
Philly.
only top five. Because Shakur's two weight classes up though. That's a bit
Yeah,
crazy.
but the thing is, it's um the reason why I can't put Stephen Fulton ahead of a B Hop or Frazier or anything like that. There's a certain legacy that they left like beyond the ring, but that's not Stephen Fulton's fault. That's credit to Frazier and Hopkins. So that's why I wouldn't put him ahead of those two. Now after that, now you're talking like the David Reeds of the world, which I think he would surpass if he was to do that. You got guys like Meldrick Taylor. Meldrick Taylor was a legend in his own right. That combination could possibly put him ahead of Meldrick Taylor as well.
I mean, you even got dudes in more recent times who's done things for Philly, like Danny Garcia, Kevin
Danny,
Farmer,
yeah, you got Danny, you got Danny, you got J Rock.
J Rock.
For us, it's so if Fulton was to do, if he beats Akhmed Delayev, like I think you know what, let me phrase it like this. I think Stephen Fulton is probably one of the top 10 in terms of just pure talent. He's top 10 in Philly history. He's a top 10 talent in Philly history, like when it comes down to just being a
Good
talented
question.
fighter. Yes.
Does he have more talent than Ivan Robinson? Because quiet as kept, that's my dark horse, greatest Philly fighter. Just quiet as kept.
Well, I mean,
One of the greatest
skills.
upsets.
Um, I'm gonna say this. Their skills are very comparable. I know Ivan Robinson said on camera that nobody's compared to him, which is what he's supposed to say.
But
But if they
Ivan
really
was
think about it,
sweet,
if
natural.
you really think about it, Ivan Robinson was basically Stephen Fulton before Stephen Fulton. Like in terms of just all around, there was nothing Ivan Robinson couldn't do in the ring. Like no matter what type of fight it was, he looked comfortable, and that's hard to find. But that follows the Philly fighter. No matter what type of fight it is, like they look comfortable in any type of a fight.
yeah,
Like they don't look like a fish out of water.
it's just I mean, and I obviously I think Boots is an amazing talent. I think he's gonna achieve so many things. I just feel like even got like Rasheem Jefferson, for example, he's coming up. You got Nafair Charles, he's coming up. You got Paul Crow, he's coming up. I know Muson's not from Philly, but he trains out of Philly. He's coming up. So you do have talented fighters coming out of Philly. But when I look at like what Philly's bringing out right now, it starts and stops with Fulton. That's what I believe. Like it
He's the
starts
best
and
in Philly
stops.
right now. He's the best to me. He's the most accomplished. He's the most accomplished fighter in Philly right now. Like
You could
active.
argue he's the most accomplished fighter out of Philly in the last 5 years, 6 years.
I won't. I won't. Do
Who's
I want to
more
say
accomplished
that?
in the last 5 years? Who's accomplished more in the last 5 years?
Let me think about that.
Well, all right, cool. Maybe not now, but if he beats Ahmed Aliyev, 100%, he's undisputed, bro. If he beats
Bro,
Ahmed
I'm telling
Aliyev,
you, bro, in that 122 division, his inside game is bonkers.
His inside game filthy.
His inside game is bonkers for them dudes in 122, bro.
Yeah.
So I
and
don't
he
know.
can box. And
That's
he can box.
the problem. That's the problem for them dudes in 122. You got a dude that can get inside Mexican style, you know what I mean, and get gritty with it, but also make you work so hard you get tired and you miss shots and you start looking you flustered out there and bewildered. So he can outbox you and he can outfight you. You might have a point with that, Shane. I ain't even gonna lie, man. I can't. I'm not majorly big on the smaller divisions, you know, outside of the big names, the Ionis. Now we got Fulton on the on the marquee sort of status.
No, but you two are from
right.
Philly. You two are from Philly. So
That's what I'm saying, bro. You might be right currently with the achievements. This guy,
he's the best. He's the most, to me, he's the most accomplished fighter, and skills has been tried and proven in the city of Philly, and that includes Boots. That includes Boots.
Right now.
That includes Boots.
Boots has been ducked. I think Boots has been ducked for about 3 years.
That's
I agree. No, I agree. I agree with that 100%.
I'm gonna say something you might disagree, but I think that includes Danny, and I think that includes Tevin, and I think that includes J-Rock.
Well, the thing with if he wins this Ahmed Aliyev fight, that puts him ahead of J-Rock. That puts him ahead of Tevin. That puts him, me personally, that would, I don't know if I'm talking about total body of work. I don't know if I would put him ahead of Danny, even though he would be unified. Danny held the city down for a long ass time. He's one of the few stars in the sport that weren't given a handout on the come up. He fought the who's who of fighters on the come up, and I can't give him enough respect for that. While he was on the come up, like he didn't get no easy route. So he would be even with Danny for me. But yeah, he would definitely be. But I think he's the most accomplished guy and the most skilled guy, like tried and proven over anybody in Philly right now. Like I said, that includes Boots, and it's not Boots' fault because Boots. I think
YSM will be upset if you heard you say that, bro.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about that. And I said tried and proven. I didn't say he was more talented.
Nah,
Boots is the most physically gifted fighter I've seen since Roy Jones. He's the most physically gifted guy I've seen since Roy Jones.
My life, and bro, you're talking to someone who was born on Floyd Mayweather. I was born on Floyd Mayweather, and Boots is the most talented fighter I've ever seen in my entire life. Just raw talent, the physical talent. There's no one more talented, and I was born on Floyd. Born. Literally, as I was born, I was watching boxing. My oldest childhood memory in my life is boxing. So Floyd Mayweather, I thought, was the most gifted fighter I've ever seen. Boots surpassed that.
The thing is, I think Floyd is the most skilled fighter I've ever seen. Like in terms of just pure, just skill, just all around the board, technique, all of that. Boots is just the most physically. He's a physical freak. Like he's just like when people talk like people like YSM that speak so high of Boots. Like I don't ever say like, bro, you wrong or you just thinking too big or anything like that. Like I get it.
Like, bro, let's keep it real. When do you ever in your life say a 23-year-old, a dude the same age as me, will beat arguably two of the best pound for pound fighters in the sport. That's unheard of, bro. That's like saying Jared Anderson will beat Tyson Fury and Usyk. That's exactly what it's like.
And
now that we brought this up, can Stephen Fulton? Can Steph beat Shakur Stevenson?
Nah,
he's too small.
I think he's a bit too small.
Too small.
I think
he could beat a Gary Russell. Though.
I was about to say that.
Did I steal your thunder?
Gary Russell.
That's crazy because that was going to be one of my posts. I was going to put up Gary, Steph, and Steven and say what's the best matchup.
He would beat Gary Russell, right?
He would beat Gary Russell, right, and I think he beat Navarrete as well.
I don't know about that.
I'm only saying that, and I know you like Navarrete, Jeff, but I'm only saying that because
is he too small for Valdez? Could he take Valdez belt right now?
Valdez is big as well, bro. Valdez
I wouldn't.
But he big on that stuff. He was looking kind of small against Ken Encione.
I'm not gonna lie though. Figueroa was big. Figueroa was about 126, 130, and he done well against Figueroa. So
killing him in the inside, bro. Killing him in the inside. To me, that's
it was a close fight, though. It was a close fight.
That's what I said. I thought he won it with the better inside work because he didn't box supremely well because Figueroa kept it close. So he kept close.
I think Figueroa got one of the best inside games in the sport.
But he lost against Steph in the inside to me.
I said Fulton. I'm talking about Fulton.
Okay. I thought you said Figueroa.
But one thing Figueroa does well is he smothers opponents' work real well. He smothers your work real well and stays on top of you. So a lot of the shots that Fulton was landing, unless you saw it like on a replay or on like an in-between shot, you wouldn't see it because the dude's so big. He doesn't look like he's landing anything. But when we saw it on the running back, I'm like, whoa, he did land that. You see 2-3 punch combinations that Fulton's landing, that because Figueroa was so big, he kind of hides it. And it's almost like, it's very difficult to see, especially if you're in an arena.
Yeah, you don't give him maximum credit because you only give him credit if you see it on TV because you got the angle.
It was the same. It was very similar to when he fought Angelo Leo because I thought he was gonna go in there and box Leo. He went in the pocket and he just gave Leo everything he got. Bro, this dude's inside game is it's ridiculous, bro. The dude's catching and countering and slipping in the pocket and landing power shots in the pocket better than anyone in the world. It's insane.
In that division right now, I don't think the guys that was on Burt Wood's list can stand up to that game over round situation. And you gotta deal the box because he give you 3-4 rounds and sit down on you for another 4-5 rounds, probably get you out of there.
The only reason why I really want to see the Ahmed Aliyev fight is because Ahmed Aliyev has that single. He's always got that single. And I picked Fulton to win the fight, but it's just when a dude's got the ability to hurt you and wear you down, it's a good matchup for fans to watch. You know, it's a different style.
It's going to wear you down. I think you have
your signal kind of chopping out, bro. So you're missing some of the stuff.
Yeah, he's frozen.
You want to try to come out and come back in, bro? Yeah. The thing with Fulton though, matter of fact, let me run through these comments real quick. We're a couple deep. Luis Neri that good. He has issues out of the ring. No, Neri nice with it. Neri nice with it, man. Like it's just he in a stacked division. If Fulton moves up, Nicholas Walters versus Stephen Fulton would be cool. Is he still fighting?
Bert. Fighting.
Hey, Bert. When is the last time he fought? And that's no disrespect to him. Like, when is the last time he fought? I honestly don't know. Stephen Fulton versus Brandon Figueroa. Fulton was tested big time. Yeah, it was. Listen, it was a unification fight. That's how it's supposed to be. When two high level guys is fighting, it's going to be high competition. Derek Wilkes in the building. Big shout out to you, bro. He said, "What's up, fellas? Got to put that jab on Hrgovic and make him go backwards." Yeah, that'll be the game plan, but that's hard to do.
Yeah,
It's hard to do.
because the dude's got long arms as well. He's got a jab as well. So
Yeah, that's hard. That's really hard to do. Now the one thing I will say, Derek, is you have to beat Hrgovic to the jab. You got to be
yeah,
that. I would say that's more
you
important than
you,
actually kind of back him up.
you got to punch in between his shots because his recoil isn't quick. It's jab right hand, but in the between that jab right hand, you can let shots off. You can catch him in between. Kind of like when Lennox was fighting Vitali. It was the shots that he was throwing in between Vitali's shots that was causing the damage.
And the thing that makes Hrgovic kind of a tough cover is usually with guys that had that jab straight right hand, they have a habit of leaving out the pocket with their hands down. For the most part, he leaves out the pocket with his hands up.
And
So
for the
it's
most
kind of
part,
hard to bum rush him out the back door.
I thought Jeff was gonna say this. For the most part, this nigga ain't leaving out the back door at all. He's just going
Yeah,
straight
yeah,
forward. And
yeah.
he's
So it's
smothering
just
everything. As
yeah.
Jeff said, he's the type of dude to eat everything on the plate. And once his plate's done, he's throwing the table over. You
That's
ain't
a
eating.
fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. My man Nathan Carey in the building. He
This
said, "Oh,
this
look
dude,
who's
what's
here."
up, bro?
Big
What's
shout
up?
out to Nathan Carey, man. What's going on,
What's
bro?
up?
Hold on. Derek Wilt said Joe Joyce was giving trouble with that jab. Listen, Joe Joyce has one of the best jabs in the sport. Me personally, I
Yeah,
think he's one of the best jabs in the sport. And the reason why his jab is so good is not just because he's big. He throws it long. He throws it to get close, like the close distance. He'll throw a pesky jab as well. Like you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like
And for
a pity
someone
pat
so
jab as well.
slow, you don't expect it to be so accurate.
He is very accurate. Nathan Carey, hi guys. Nathan Carey, what's going on with you, good brother, man? Appreciate you jumping on, man, for sure. But Hrgovic is a tough cover, man. Like him and him and Yoka would be a real good. I know you said that earlier, Shane, but now thinking about it, a lot of the stuff that Yoka likes to do, I'm kind of like playing the fight in my head. I'm like, how much of the stuff that Yoka usually does he actually try against Hrgovic? Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's crazy. Nobody wants the IBF final eliminator. Yeah, that's what we've been talking about, bro. That's what we've been talking about. He said it's Yoka accepted.
No,
Uh,
Yoko's got a fight
he
with
got
Okoli
a
next week.
yeah, next week he got a fight.
But we're just going down the rankings, and Yoko was the next in line. So I'm just
Yeah.
assuming that they're
So
going to Yoko next.
if he beats Bacoli, and then he takes the Hrgovic fight and beats Hrgovic, to be honest with you, I would be lobbying for Yoka to get a top 5 guy.
Yeah,
I would
I mean,
lobby for Yoka to get a top 5 guy,
I,
but
I mean,
nobody in
I
the
mean,
top 5 would want to see him though.
yeah, I mean, I believe, and this is my belief. I feel like it's gonna be Hrgovic versus Gasayev. That's what I believe.
Yeah, I think. Hey, Nathan Carey, what you think about that, man? I think Gassiev is the one that's going to actually take that. I think he's the one that's actually going to take that fight.
I mean, he's in a situation where obviously he's coming up from cruiserweight, so he's gonna be in a rush to get his job done. You know, and he's not. He's also a guy that's not looking at a like high purse anyway. He doesn't get high purse. He's real low in the rankings anyway. I feel like that's probably gonna be his highest payday that's available to him right now. So I can see that fight happening.
No, that's a fact. It's just really it's really difficult to see guys that are in position to make a big time move and then they just have a hard time finding a dance partner. You know what I mean? Like it's difficult, man. Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Mic check, mic check.
Sound good, sound good. He said, "May I come up?" Nathan Carey, actually, you know what? You can, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. You actually can. Hold on a second, good brother.
I mean, I want to speak about AJ's comments as well, bro. I want
Yeah.
you guys' opinions on AJ's comments.
Actually, Shane, give us AJ's comments for the people that did not hear the interview.
So, for those who don't know, ironically, and I say ironically, and I'll explain in a second, AJ done an interview with Sky. The reason why that's ironic because obviously you guys know that AJ just signed a lifetime deal with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn has signed a deal with The Zone and has left Sky. but AJ hasn't left Sky, so nobody knows where AJ is going next. But the fact that he done a deal with Sky, an interview with Sky, was kind of interesting. But moving on past that, he was basically asked about Usyk and the rematch, and he basically firstly he said the fight was a 9-3 fight. He lost, and he tried to box with him, but next time he's not gonna box, and he's gonna try and make it more of a war. And I just found that interesting because for one, he saw the fight as 9-3, and for two, he felt that it was that he's gonna brawl instead of boxing, so that was interesting.
Big shout out to Nathan Carey in the building. What's going on, good brother? How you feeling today? Hold on a second.
Hello guys, how's it going? Happy New Year to all of you.
Hey man, Happy New Year to you, good brother,
right,
man.
So where are you at? You were talking about, are you still talking about the Hrgovic situation?
Absolutely. So you got the floor, brother.
Happy New Year to all of you guys. So with this Hrgovic, he's low risk, no reward. Do you know what I mean? Who wants that for chump change? Even Hunter turned it down. So I can understand Joseph Parker not wanting to take it. Why would he want to take less money? It makes no sense, does it? And also, but with not Charles Martin, I would have thought Ortiz would have took it. I think this injury thing is a lie. I think they're lining up to fight Ruiz or something like that. It just doesn't make any sense.
Nathan, quick question to you, bro. So you have basically a title eliminator.
It's final, yeah, it's a final limit. I know that, yeah.
Final eliminator. Where does someone kind of like draw a line and say, you know what, the opportunity is bigger than the actual money amount? Like in your eyes, like
if I was someone like a Michael Hunter, I'd just take it. If you're someone in that position, you have to take it. Look how bad Hunter looked in his last fight. It just goes to show you don't know what's going to happen. So you have to take these chances when you can. Like when Martin took the title shot, obviously he was an up-and-comer, And you always have to, if you're an up-and-comer, you have to take it. I mean, could the IBF turn around and say they don't want a final eliminator now and they just put Hrgovic as the mandatory?
You know what?
I know they're strict on
I think Shane said that earlier. Shane said that earlier.
I was going to say this, though. With Parker, I assume, everybody's aspiration should be a world champion. He doesn't have another title offer, or he's not highly ranked in another governing body.
WBO, he is. He's second in WBO. Is Joe Joyce, not Joe Joyce? Sorry, Parker. Yeah, sorry.
I'm assuming Joe Joyce is number one, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So unless they order Joe Joyce versus Joseph Parker, which I still don't see that fight happening.
That would be a hell of a fight.
He's still going to have to wait. That's my point. He's still going to have to wait. It was like what Jeff was talking about. It's like take the low money and you could potentially get a title shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's it's vlog.
This why, I got you. This why I said Jared Anderson is in that situation. Also, what's the young guy from over there in y'all backyard? The heavyweight cat. What do you got? Like 11, 12 wins right now.
Which fight are you talking about?
Shane know who I'm talking about. The little pretty boy dude, light skinned boy.
David Adelaide. I'm assuming
not Fabio Wardley. You're not talking about Fabio Wardley. Right?
Oh, you're talking about Wardley. Okay.
You're not really? No, he's nowhere near the top.
Nate, hold on, Nate. I'm just asking, is he in a position that he can make a move like that and say, well, let me try to leapfrog these guys instead of waiting for another opportunity? Here's an opportunity. Is that a fight that a guy like him should take? Is all I'm asking.
Could do, but it's be detrimental to his, to coming through. If you have a big loss, it could put you back 2 or 3 years. We've seen it so many times. Look at when face.
Nate, that's not true because look at Dubois. He just took the loss.
Dubois is in a different position. Dubois was managed correctly. Fabio Wardley. Dubois was a better fighter than what Fabio Wardley was by the time he'd had 10, 11 fights, in my opinion. Fabio Wardley's a good fighter, but he's never going to be world level, is he?
I don't think Dubois is going to be world level neither. But that's
I don't think he's either. But he's the mandatory, not mandatory, but the number one in the WBA against Trevor Bryan, the guy who's not a real world champion, as we know. You know, it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? If you've got the promotion behind you and you've got the name, like Fabio Wardley's a good fighter, but you know, he's not as well known, is he? You know,
who wins, Worley or Babbage?
Wardley.
What you think? Hey Nate, what you think about that, bro?
Wardley's just about British level, in my opinion. He's not near European level, nowhere near world level.
So you think
we need to look at it realistically, guys. Come on.
Who you think between Worley and Babbage?
Oh God, you'd have to go. I guess you'd have to go Wardley, wouldn't you? Just about.
Does Babbage have a chance against Hrgovic?
Come on, he's terrible. He's got no defense. He's awful. Come on, he's like just a slight upgrade from Dave Allen. And I'm being very nice when I say that. Do you agree, guys? Come on.
Babbage is the bag, though, bro.
He's got no defense. Come on.
He's entertaining, bro.
No defense.
The homie, my dude.
Yo,
Babbage is a fucking caveman, dude.
Good fighter.
Hey, Nate, you might find Babbage in the back of your pub getting it
he
on
won payday.
He
won payday.
In fact, actually, Babbage is one of the paydays for real.
That's it. He the bag, bro. So for a situation,
there's talk of him fighting the Bridgerweight champion. Come on, he'll get smashed to pieces.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll be honest.
Who you talking about? Against who?
Rivas.
Against Oscar Rivas?
Against the Bridgerweight champion.
Yeah, Rivas.
I don't think that fight's as one-sided as you think, because the size difference ain't that big. You know, it's at Bridgerweight.
It isn't, but
go ahead, Nate.
I think he's not a bad fighter. The Bridgerweight champion, he's all right. You know, he gave Dillian White problems, but you know, we'll see what happens. When are they going to start taking this division seriously? Only the WBC give a shit about it. Nobody else cares about it.
That's because they created it.
They created it.
I know they did. They make up all their fucking rules. Yeah, they decide who's the franchise champion and who isn't. I mean, the WBA are even worse, aren't they? How can you have a guy with? Sorry, carry on.
No. I actually want to ask you a question. I asked Vlog and Shane this earlier. How is the WBC probably the most corrupt, but they had the most prestigious belt? If you ask all the boxers what belt they want, they're gonna tell you the green belt. Does that make any sense to you?
It doesn't. It does. Yeah, it's the most prestigious belt, but at the same time, they're the most corrupt. They're more corrupt than the WBA, I'd say. They're making it rules like Dillian White. That 80-20 split is a load of bullshit. The interim champion's meant to get 40%, right?
Generally speaking, yes, it's supposed to be 60-40.
I mean, the truth is Nathan Kerry, and I'm a still.
Dillian White did it himself. Did it to himself, didn't he? As well.
Yeah,
it's about making fucking money. Boxing is a fucking business. They're not going to strip the guy who grossed a lot of money, are they? Like someone like
it's not even that, bro. He took them to court, so
they're going to court.
You shouldn't have done. You shouldn't have done. You shot yourself in the foot.
That's like,
because Nathan, if you take me to court, I'm damn sure not letting you on the show. Like,
exactly. Yeah. It's like Manuel Char with the WBA. Did you hear what he said about Mendoza? He said that he doesn't deserve to be the president or something. He really slagged him off really badly. So now they've taken away Manuel Char's champion in recess status. This is over,
bro. I didn't know.
Keep your mouth shut.
I didn't know that, but that makes sense.
I didn't know that. When did he say that?
It's true. It's true.
When he said that recently?
Yeah, that's why.
About
that's
2 days ago,
that's that inside shit right there. That's why Dubois' name was brought up for that.
Apparently, he's now the mandatory, obviously official challenger, as they call it, on the rankings. OC official challenger.
Okay.
I hope they get rid of this WBA extra title crap. It's too much now. This regular belt stuff.
I mean, they were trying to do that, but then I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
but the way they just messed about because of court cases.
It looked like they're trying to. It looked like in some areas they're trying to consolidate, but they got so many belts. It's gonna take a while.
selective consolidation, isn't it?
That's true too. That's true too. Depending on who bringing the bag.
I am just skip that. Kane Dingle boxing. White should take a page out of AJ Chisora and Fury book. Look how much promotion work they do, whilst White locks himself away in Portugal doing the bare minimum. I'm gonna explain this. Yeah, you can say that, but Chisora and Fury both don't sell as much pay-per-views as Dylan White, and they both don't do as much ticket sales as Dylan White. So all of that means nothing, because at the end of the day, Dylan White sold more tickets in the UK and he sold more pay-per-views than both of them in the UK. He's never going to be on that level because AJ is just a superstar. But I don't feel like him locking himself away has made a difference, bro, because at the end of the day, you look at what Dylan White's done, and this is why what Nathan was saying about the 80-20 split was so ridiculous, because Fury isn't a guaranteed bag, bro. Because the truth is, Fury's only proven to be a bag because of Wilder. If you look at his fights outside of Wilder, Shefat Asufi or Shefat Steph, whatever that dude was, what's his name?
Sufi or something,
whatever his name was. Otto Wallin, what's the other dude? Tom Schwartz.
No bag.
None of those dudes were bags.
They hold on, Shane. Let me follow up with that. They was giving away tickets because all of those fights were in Vegas. They had Vegas. They booked basically the MGM for him for all of those fights. They were giving away tickets for those fights. So yeah, Fury wasn't the bag until Wilder came along. That's a fact.
And the WBC don't know if it was Fury or if it was Wilder, because let's keep it real. If you remove Wilder from the equation, I don't think Fury sells that much. But with White, he's a guaranteed seller, bro. This is a dude. He sold almost in total. He sold 2 million or just under 2 million pay-per-view buys in the UK in all his pay-per-view fights altogether. Bro, this dude sold so much. So for you to take a gamble on, that's personal. It's got nothing to do with business. It's because Dylan White took you to court and you took it personal. And you should take it personal because Dylan White took it personal first. So it ain't got nothing to do with promotion, bro, or him moving to Portugal or nothing, because he's still selling tickets and he's still getting mega promotional mega pay-per-view numbers. So can't even say that.
Yeah, big shout out to Kane Dingle Boxing though. Big shout out to you, family. Actually, you know what? You subscribe to us, we're gonna subscribe to you, you know what I'm saying? So we'll definitely check you out as well, man. But we got another one coming in. Radonik Drobic. What's going on with you? He says Joyce won't take it because he's a WBO mandatory. Yeah, Joyce is not gonna get involved with that situation. Joyce is lined up for a big fight. Like he's lined up for a big fight.
He's next in line for the winner of what I expect to happen is AJ fights Usyk and the winner of that goes in an undisputed fight, and then the belts get like this.
Do you think the belts will be fragmented again anyway before we even get to an undisputed fight? I'm starting to think that Usyk will vacate one of those belts.
I think we'll get undisputed first. And once we get undisputed, then the belts will get fragmented. And Joy Joyce is right in line. He could just fight for a free world title.
Yeah, the heavyweight division is just really like crazy. Like when you really think about it, like you got drama at the top, you got drama in the middle, you got drama on the back end. When it comes, but the reason that's the case is because there's so many fighters that's along the same level. Like there's so many fighters that's along the same level, man. Like you know what I'm saying? And I mean, you can literally go 20 deep. You can literally go 20 deep. Yes, sir.
Is that an opportunity that PBC would jump on with one of their heavyweights? Outside of Ortiz. I'm talking like a Johnny Rice.
I mean, I actually feel like the Otto Wallin name is actually something I would have entertained
that's a great name. Where is he at in the rankings? Where is he at in the rankings?
He wasn't in the top 15 when I checked, but you know how the rankings move. They could
Yeah,
definitely
if
do
they want
something.
Wilding ahead a shot, they'll put him in the rankings.
Yeah.
Guys,
That's
since when have we had so much talent in the heavyweight division? You know, it's been years, hasn't it? In the last 5 years, we've really got loads of talents from the top to the bottom. I remember in like 2003, 2004, when John Ruiz was champion. The level obviously wasn't that good then. You know, we had Lewis and Klitschko, and that was about it. But I'm so glad we've got it so good now, you know?
Well, this is always been a trend. When heavyweight boxing goes through a dark age, it always then brightens up. You know, you had the
it's weird,
80s,
like the 80s with Mike Reed
the
being
80s.
champion, you know,
80s wasn't that great when you had Larry Holmes and not much other than him, and then Tyson came, and then there was a domino effect of so many other fighters. It's like Klitschko brothers. They were the most boring
they were good
champions
fighters,
ever.
but they were boring.
And
they were
then
fucking boring.
No, that's a fact. Hey Nate, you know what else? With the heavyweight division, if you're a heavyweight, right, and you're a solid heavyweight, there's no reason why you shouldn't be making you shouldn't have $1 million after it's all said and done. Like, you can mix and match, and you can be in legit fights for the next like 5 years. Like, legit fights.
I got another name.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, Vlog.
What about Hellenius?
Yeah, he's another guy who's researched his
Is
career.
he in the top 15?
Yeah. Of the WBA, I think he's number 3 in the WBA.
No, in the
IBF.
I don't think so. He's about 8 or something, isn't he?
That's a good. I actually like that fight.
Cal Nagy was ranked. Cal Nagy was ranked in the IBF. So
Nagy was ranked.
Ajit Kabayel is there? Can anybody put up the ranking so I can see it? I can't get the internet on my other computer, so I can have a quick look.
Let me run through the comments while you do that. Radonic says Tony Yoka won't take it because he's still waiting for the Martin Bacoli fight. Bro, the Martin Bacoli fight's next week, so he's not got much to wait for. I mean, he can just take it in, like, one of his team could take it and just put him on the back burner, and then when he wins that fight, they just make the fight. It's not like the Hrgovic fight is going to be anytime soon anyway. They just order the fight, and maybe the fight might be within the next 3 to 4 months. Yoka's probably going to fight during that time anyway. So Yoka's fighting next week, the 15th, against Bacoli. So he could easily take that fight. Okay, I heard that, but Fury has made something like 70 million in the last 3 years. I doubt White has made even 10% of that. Firstly, you got to look at, he's made that money because of guarantees. That's how much money was put up. That's not how much money the promotional companies have made of him. I guarantee you, Bob Arum's made a loss. How much did he sign for, Jeff? How much did Tyson Fury sign for when he signed to Top?
I don't know, but it was a lot. It was a lot of money. Like, basically, they didn't recoup until the Wilder fights came about.
Exactly. So my point is, firstly, one of the Wilder fights, he wasn't even a champion. The first Wilder fight, the first and second Wilder fight, he wasn't even a champion. So the WBC didn't even get a massive payout at that because of him. It was because of Wilder, because he was the champion. The sanctioning fees, he's obviously going to pay it because he's the champion. And the third Wilder fight, cool, he made a lot of money off that. But the 70 million that he made, that was guaranteed. That wasn't money that they earned. Oh my gosh, bro. Yoka versus Bacoli's postponed.
Why?
I don't know, bro. L-Dub, the plug, just said it just now.
Come on, man. Put it up on the screen, yo. Put it on the screen.
Oh my gosh.
COVID
I'm so sick of this COVID
man.
shit.
Bro.
Crap.
Yo.
So he ain't saying that either one of them are sick. He just saying that they got some restrictions in that region.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
It's the same thing with you, man.
Yeah.
Wasn't that
it was next week. It was next week, bro.
It was next
week.
Next week.
Well, of course they shut everything down for the month, though. So that's within June.
No, bro, that fight
was in France. That was in France.
This fight was in France, bro.
France do everything that England do. If England do something, if England fart, France gonna fart.
The truth is, they've done the same thing with Eubank versus what's it called?
James DeGette. Williams.
Liam Williams.
Can I ask you guys a question? Change the subject slightly. What do you guys think of Conor Benn? And I want you guys to be honest. Just be honest about it.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. He's the future bag in the division. Like when these champions start looking for opponents that's bringing something to the table, and you talking pay-per-view events, he's that guy. Now, a real pound for pound type of guy, I'm not sure. I'm not gonna say he can't do it, but I don't know. It'll be an uphill climb. But he's for sure trying to set himself up to be the bag for a Boots, for a Spence. If Spence stays around for another 2 to 3 fights, he's the bag for sure. Like that's what I believe. Like
Shane, go next. I'll go last one.
I agree with Blunt. Everything he says. I think Conor Benn is definitely the person. When you look at the young youths coming up, he's going to be the one that's going to generate probably the most money. But when you look at the young dudes coming up or the talented fighters coming up, he's probably one of the weakest. You know, I wouldn't put him on the level of Stanionis or Butayev or Boots or Ortiz in terms of ability, but he's going to sell more. So that money that he's got behind him will position him better than maybe a Boots. Because if I'm Errol Spence, or if I'm Terence Crawford, I'm looking at it like, well, I'd rather fight Conor Benn for more money, less risk than fight Jaron Ennis. That's just common sense.
Let me cap this off. When it come down to Conor Benn, the main thing that I like about Conor Benn, and of course, you know, the money, you know, bringing in certain numbers and things like that. Yes, that's definitely facts. The one thing I like about Conor Benn that I can't necessarily say about everybody is every time I see him in the ring, he has improved. And you rarely find that in the sport of boxing, where every time they come in the ring, they improve. And that's where I'm like, I don't know where his ceiling is. That's why I'm not going to close the door on Conor Benn in terms of being a top 10 guy, because he improves every single fight. And what he showed me in his last fight is the footwork. What he did in that fight, he wouldn't have did that a year and a half ago.
Answer me a question. Was that better than what Spence did against Algieri?
No.
Different Algieri, though, wasn't it? It was a different
Algieri.
Different Algieri. The thing is, though,
that's not answering the question.
No, I'm about to answer it. He was, to be honest with you, he was just as impressive, because he ended him around the same time. And Spence showed me some things in the Algieri fight. Just cutting the ring off, closing the distance. And Conor Benn did a lot of the same things.
Jeff, you know the issue with, I guess, with me and Nathan. I don't want to speak for Nathan, so I'm gonna speak for myself. The issue is, bro, we are always gonna have the handbrake up when it comes to our enthusiasm for British prospects, because we've been let down so many times that we never want to get too excited. So one of those ones where I guess I agree Conor Benn is the exception, in the sense that a lot of fighters, especially UK prospects, they plateau real early. Their progression slows down real early.
He may be this era's Prince Nassim.
Who?
Oh, wow, Jesus, that's
not no disrespect. No,
I hope you're right.
Hold on. Let me get into it.
Real quick. Explain that one to me.
The Prince grew as he fought. Did we not see him grow on HBO? Did we not see him improve in his fights on HBO? And then he hit that wall of that next level competition, and it just like he knew this is not a repeated thing. This is not something I'm going to do 3-4 fights in a row. If he's not that edge, he knows it. That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking like we might see that from Ben. Like, okay, I'm in there with Crawford. I'm in the 4th round. Nothing I'm doing so far is working. I think he hits that wall. To me. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, I foresee that. Like
so you're not comparing them as fighters. You're comparing them in terms of hitting the wall.
I'll give you my view in a
I'm
minute.
comparing them as, in terms of where they might level out at.
That makes sense.
Not as fighters. They're two different styles, of course.
No, I'm just double checking I'm double checking, making sure for the folks that's listening, because you know people take the comments and just run with it.
Then I would take myself off this platform if I literally thought these two dudes had the same fucking style.
I believe you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, I can't be that dumb. But no, I'm talking about as far as like, because the Prince was the bag in that era.
Oh, he was talented.
He was the bag. Everybody wanted to see him in that era. You had dudes wanting to drop out of their weight class to try to go down there and fight this dude. You see what I'm saying? So,
and the thing is with Prince Nassim, like, he's still one of my. Like I said, him and Kevin Kelly is one of my favorite fights.
But let's not forget, he had a belt that wasn't considered a legitimate world title back then, wasn't it? That WBO. Every man and his dog had that belt back in the day, but he made it a decent belt. You know, people like him and Kawasaki.
It did become legitimate in
about 2003.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, early 2000s.
Something like that.
No, that's a fact.
I ain't gonna lie. I think the WBO belt has a bit more steam than the IBF belt
now, but not. Yeah, the IBO should be where the WBO is now. It's been around 28
No,
years.
I'm saying the IBF. I'm saying as far as belt,
IBF,
if you look at the belt rankings right now, I'm thinking the WBO belt has more steam on it than the IBF championship.
I have to disagree with that. I have to disagree with that big time.
Look at Kell Brook's IBF title run. It was made up of guys who are like 60 or 70 on box rate, all of his free defenses.
No, I get what you're saying, bro. I get what you're saying, but the reason why I actually like the IBF is because IBF are one of the most consistent in their rules.
They are, yeah.
And the way, like,
prestige. We talking prestige.
But I'll give you my view on Conor Benn very quickly, if that's okay.
Go ahead. Do you think?
Right, my view is this kid had no amateur experience. He had a big name of his father. He never fought anybody really at British level. He went from sort of like fighting novices to people. Then he sort of went just beneath European level. So he skipped all the domestic belts like the Commonwealth and all that, like the European. It hasn't done him any harm, but I always thought if he used to fought for a European belt or an IBO title next, because that IBO title is now vacant, I could see him winning that, making a few defenses of it, then possibly fighting in about another 2 years. He'll probably fight for a world title. But it won't be against anybody we consider a top fighter. It'll probably be for a vacant belt or something. And then I could see him probably making two or three defenses. But I don't see him being as good as what his dad was. I think doesn't mean he can't be a world champion.
Oh, his dad a legend.
Lowering my expectations.
Absolute legend.
So he could be a belt holder like say, Kid Galahad, but a bit better, you know? Not miles better, but a bit better. I think he'll win a world title, but I'll keep it at that. Isn't it better to keep your expectations low?
I know winning a world title, I even think that. I mean, unless he gets gifted one, I don't see how it
probably happen. Look at Kid Galahad, the way he was gifted a world title. Look at the way
that was definitely a gift.
Look at Nathan Cleverly. Do you remember when he got given the belt, guys? Because that Jürgen Bremer guy was tied up in legal stuff. So he'll get gifted a belt. He will fight an easy guy. I don't see him beating any of the top guys now. You know?
Yeah, run through that, Shane.
I think Hrgovic versus Jilly Zhang will be for the IBF final eliminator. Eldar, what do you think of Gasayev? Because Gasayev's ranked higher than Zhang, so I don't know why they haven't gone to Gasayev. Looks like that's the most likely. Zhang already said he wants it. Yeah, I mean, as I said, I wouldn't mind that fight. I'm not a big fan of Zhang though. I think
Zhang is terrible. He looked terrible in his last couple of fights, doesn't he?
He looked terrible in every fight I've ever watched.
Who was the guy he went to hospital? Was the one before the last?
Yeah, they was worried about it. He won.
Jerry Forrest. Yeah,
they was worried about him, bro. I'm like, that's crazy, bro. As big as he is, and you the one end out going to the hospital. God damn. So I'm worried about his defense, man. That defense is in, man. But I mean,
the rate we're going, they'll probably put Mark Demori in the rankings and make him the next.
Kane Dingle or whatever boxing, not buying into the Matchroom hype just yet. But fair play to Ben. He comes across hardworking and likable. It's a tough division, though, very tough. And Ben is very small as well. Like I
That's
said,
why.
he's very, very
And
small.
Kane, if you look at it this way, the way they're moving him, they're not moving him to climb the ranking. They're moving him to build that brand, to build that
Name recognition. Yeah.
That
And I
means
think
what they're
doing
lining
it
them up with
correctly.
dudes like AB and stuff like that.
That's what I'm saying. That's the correct way to do it. And if he looks spectacular doing it, that's just icing on the cake. Because to me, like I said, is the bag in towards the future in the division. Because you kind of got to have a Porter type of guy, a guy that gonna sell fights no matter who he fights. So whoever the champion may be towards the future, this guy kind of Ben will be that opposite side that equates to a 60-40, to a 65, to, you know what I mean, like a 75, 70-30 easy. He easy 70-30, something on the back end on a pay-per-view situation. Because
he's definitely the best of all the sons, isn't he, really? I mean, if you look at it, I mean,
it's some nice ones out though. We got some nice juniors out. We got
Eubank's
Antonio Tarver
okay,
Jr. We got
it's kind of sailed, hasn't it?
Holyfield son looking good right now. So yeah, it's a couple.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna turn my back on Eubank Jr. because I think he's doing some good work with Roy Jones right now.
I like
fighting the wrong fights.
I respect that. I think he may be having a better career than his dad. In all actuality,
the problem is that he didn't get this. If he got this proper training he got now, for 8-9 years ago, he would have been a world champion. This kid could have been a world champion 5-6 years ago.
Definitely.
If he fought the right kind of people. Do you agree?
If he had the coach that he has now, he would have been a world champion. Listened to anyone. He never listened to anyone. So he's finally going through the boxing properly.
Probably 3 years too late. I still think he can do it. But Dempsey McKean.
The Dempsey Carpenter, 1921 at Boyle's Theatre Acres in Jersey City, New Jersey. First $1 million gate in boxing history. A crowd of 91,000 watched the fight of century.
Where was that at in Jersey? I know it was 1921, but where was that at in Jersey? That had to have been on the beach. Getting 91,000. Hold on. I heard Luis Ortiz was on the undercard for that. Hey, yo, that's funny, yo. Yo.
That is funny.
Yo,
that is hilarious, bro.
That was the comment of the night. For sure.
It's hilarious.
Gasayev versus Hrgovic would be a brilliant fight. That's a banana skin, though. Gasayev is dangerous, not well known name. That's two names that's not well known, but they both need that fight. That's why I think Gasayev would take it. I think he'll definitely take it. Gasayev, from the last I heard, is suffering from some kind of fracture, but we'll see what happens.
I didn't know that, but
I didn't know that as well. But
I'm gonna research that. I'm gonna find out.
Yeah, fracture of what? I don't know. If you can give us some more insight on that, or where we can actually look that up.
What do you think of AJ?
Kind of bad for Hrgovic because he's a guy that should have been given that, like a Chisora sort of test. He's good enough, to beat those kind of guys from what I've seen him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's in a good position though, and you could argue that he hasn't earned his
of course he has
in that position.
But he did. People just don't want to fight him. And
I mean, the fact that he's ranked so high in the IBF in the first place, you could argue he hasn't done anything to even deserve that. You can argue.
But Matchroom need to pay the money. They're not paying the money. They're being stingy with that money. They've got millions.
Isn't he with Sauerland?
Sauerland and Eddie Hearn. I think it's 50-50 promotions they do.
I thought Sauerland is with Boxer and Sky.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I'm getting. But he's still got a little bit to do with Matchroom, I think.
How does that work out? Because
I'm not even sure. Co-promotional thing. It's like when Ortiz was managed by Eddie Hearn, was under the Matchroom, and then half of it was Duca Promotions. It's all a bit messy. Or am I wrong?
I get that, but at the same time, they didn't have their own. The reason why it's conflicting is because they both have their own different television deals. Matchroom with DAZN, and Sauerland is with Sky. So how does that work out? That's the part that I'm a bit confused.
Eddie Hearn will let people go different places if they for a particular fight. He's always kind of been open about that. So
I mean, he's definitely going to give up Hrgovic because Hrgovic don't make him that much money, so he don't.
No,
really
but
care.
when he wins, if he ever wins a world title, Eddie Hearn will be kicking himself because obviously Eddie Hearn still co-promotes. What's his name?
That's a big if,
Usyk, doesn't he? I believe, yeah.
That's a big
I
if,
mean,
though.
you could say that, but look what he done with Beterbiev. He had Beterbiev signed to Matchroom. He just gave him up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't really know. I don't think Eddie Hearn cares. Like
he's got his favourites. Joshua is his golden.
Canelo, I don't think he cares.
Dillian White is his backup. We know that Dillian White is the guy's backup.
Right now, I just think this guy just cares about Canelo. That's all this dude cares about is Canelo.
Yeah. And he stopped caring about Joshua as much because Joshua doesn't have anything at the minute.
Well, this dude signed Joshua to a lifetime contract, so it doesn't make a difference.
So he got a lifetime supply of silk sheets. That's what he
ever
got.
sign a lifetime contract with bro. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, come on, Daniel Dubai did it. You just don't do it.
It's so stupid. And now I think about it, why it's so stupid is because if you look how Eddie Hearn dealt with Kell Brook, and look how he dealt with Kell Brook, and Kell Brook was that dude for Eddie Hearn. He's the person who put Eddie Hearn on the map, and he just threw him away.
Because he got to the point where it's so big they didn't need him. I think him going to Dazan will end in tears myself. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think Eddie Hearn has made some genius moves, but he's also made some head scratchers as well.
Yeah.
You know, just the Brook Triple G thing just never I never understood that.
But this is why and when Kell Brook retires, he'll be the clown of the century. Because he done that because Amir Khan fought Canelo. So he thought, let me do what Amir Khan done and fight someone 2 weight classes above me. This dude, his whole entire life has been fascinated and infatuated with Kell Brook. I mean, with Amir Khan.
Kell Brook's career was ruined the minute he went in the ring with Triple G. That more or less ended his career at the elite, didn't it?
That was because he was trying to be like Amir Khan. Yeah. And his whole if Amir Khan beats Kell Brook, Kell Brook's
going to be hilarious.
Kell Brook's going to have to be on suicide watch. I swear to God. This dude's world will come crumbling down. His whole entire career has been founded on Amir Khan.
I don't think Khan's got a lot left.
I think Khan beats Kell Brook. I'm going to keep it real. I think Khan beats Kell Brook. I swear.
I'm not sure.
I don't know who
Khan can't take a punch anymore, can he? His resistance is
Never can Kell. Never can Kell.
So both of their resistance is gone.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I think that's gonna be a really good fight.
But bro, Nathan, Kell's Amir Khan's always never been able to take a punch. So he knows how to fight without a chin.
He's got that quickness and those combinations. And if Kell Brook can't, what will happen is if Khan fights on the outside and keeps it long range, he'll win. But if Kell can't clip him with something in those 12 rounds, he's going to lose. He has to knock Khan out to win this fight, in my opinion. I don't see him outboxing Khan. He needs to knock him out and hit him with something big in the first 6 or 7 rounds.
It's going to be an entertaining fight.
I think it's going to be an entertaining fight. Let me get in these comments real quick. Birdwood, G5, Boyle's 30 acres was a large wooden bowl arena in Jersey City. Hold on a second. Read that, bro.
It was built for the World Heavyweight Championship. Jack Dempsey Carpenter. It held 80,000. Cost the fans cost of $250,000.
Hey Bert, how long have you been watching boxing? First of all, how old are you? You don't mind me asking because you are a historian for real.
And you're in YouTube comments. I mean, you got to
big shout out to you for sure. Kane Dingle boxing. Khan Brook is gonna be a car park scrap. Yo, I actually think it's gonna be a good fight. Like, I actually think it's gonna be a good fight. I think it's gonna be an entertaining fight, man. Because you just don't know which guy is.
Do you feel this is a fight that should have happened 7-8 years ago?
Absolutely. The expiration date has been way past.
Way past, yeah.
For sure.
Sometimes
67. Big shout out to you, bro.
Oh, you're 67.
Big shout out to you. Big shout out to you, bro. Man, I listen. It's good. Listen, it's good to have. This is why this is the platform to be on, because we got everybody in here, all walks of life. We got guys that's 18, 19 years old, and we got older guys in here as well. We got middle-aged guys in here. Like, we got everything. Like, Nate, I'm telling you, we got every walk of life in
Nathan,
this.
are you in the fantasy league, bro?
Mate, I'm 39, mate. I'm fucking old.
Yeah.
Are you in the
I'm old
fantasy
too,
league?
bro.
Am I what?
Are you in the fantasy league?
Oh man, yeah, you got to jump on the fantasy league on the website. Yeah, you got to jump on the fantasy league on the website, man.
I went
like,
you on it, remember I made a prediction on Kiko Martinez and you wiped me out.
Oh, you did. You did.
I got it wrong. Do you remember? And I looked like an idiot. That's why I didn't go on it.
Nah. This is something we do.
Bro,
like every time
got that fight wrong.
Everybody got that fight
Everybody
wrong.
got that fight wrong.
We just we do it just to kind of keep
but
the
bro, if you join the prediction league, like join the league,
he did make one. Yeah, just come on back in, brother, because we got
G5JustTV.com.
Yeah,
we had 2 fights on for next week, but they both got cancelled.
They both got cancelled. Take them off.
Is there stuff going on in America? There's no cancelled schedules in America, is there?
But they ain't even being fights.
Joe Smith fight got canceled.
Oh, for God's sake! I was looking forward to watching that.
Yeah, the Joe Smith fight got canceled, man. So it's
can't they just have it in empty arenas like they did before?
COVID, you know what? I think they done got a taste of the money, so it's kind of hard for them to go back into that. I think they're just gonna lessen the restrictions and just let people just let people fight.
Is Gary Russell's fight cancelled?
That's a good question.
Oh, great.
That's a good question. You know what? I can ask the guy in our chat, because he the one that got the tickets for it. And that's why, and you know what? Nate and Shane, I'm gonna say this as well. The threat of cancellation is another reason why these fight cards aren't really selling like that, because people don't want to risk putting their money up a month in advance, 2 months in advance, and then they got to go through the whole process of trying to get their money back, because a lot of times it's not easy for them to get their money back, because they're actually copping tickets from actual fighters. So they actually got to get in contact with the fighter, and if the fighter is on hard times, you may not get a hold of them.
Shane, have you ever been to? Do you ever go to the fights live? Like
who? Me personally.
Yeah,
I get accreditation.
It's been a while.
For a fight sometimes,
yeah,
but
it's been.
I ain't got an accreditation for a fight, and I refuse to go to a fight unless I'm ringside. Because
I'll be honest, I've never been to a professional fight in my life. I've always wanted to go, but I've never had the guts to go. Never had the guts to go.
Where you at? Where you
what
at?
country are you in?
What country are you in?
I'm in Northampton, England.
Okay,
so I can easily get there.
But bro, there's small cards all the time in
Warsaw and places like Birmingham.
Bro, you have to. Hey Nate, you have to go to a fight, bro. You have to.
I want to go to a local one. Like if I go to London, I'm not driving in London. Sod that.
Of course, because it's expensive.
Go to a local fight, right? Go to a local fight. The reason I say a local fight is because usually with the local fights, every seat is a good seat. So definitely go to a local fight and just get the experience. So it's like everything you experience now with boxing, you just watching it on TV. It's a whole different ball game when you go there live, bro.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like that's why I say I've kind of been spoiled, and it's annoying because because of how I've come into watching boxing live, I will never buy a ticket for a fight, because every fight I've ever been to, and I've been to maybe over 10. It's all been ringside, so I can't go to a fight and not be ringside anymore. So it's.
Have you been to a Joshua fight?
Nah, I've never been to a Joshua fight before.
I'd love to go, but the amount of casual fans that go, it would do my head in. Like I was down the pub one time watching the Dylan White card, and my mate who knew he was just trying to commentate. So this doesn't look good. And I said, so I had to leave the pub and watch it, go home and watch it. I have to turn the sound off when I watch a fight, so my mind isn't swayed.
Yeah,
so
I never watch fights with sound on, unless it's American commentators like Sean Porter. I really like Sean Porter. Sometimes I love Roy Jones. Not a massive fan of Timothy Bradley. Andre Ward can be good sometimes, but
Max Kellerman's good. I like listening.
I like Max.
Max is very
Roy.
good.
Roy is good.
I said Roy, but
Roy.
Did you know the story about Max Kellerman's brother was killed by a boxer who was friends with him?
Yeah.
which is shocking, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. And a lot of these guys' backstories be real
It's crazy.
Yeah. Before I get in the comments, I actually got breaking news. As far as I'm concerned, L Dub probably dropped it already. Kiko Martinez and Josh Warrington just struck a deal March 26th.
You know why I find that so? You know why I find that so annoying?
Why?
Because Josh Warrington's gonna get a title shot after the fact that he just lost.
Yeah.
And he's gonna win the fight as well. And he's gonna win the fight as well.
You know.
Well, for Kiko, wouldn't that be his biggest payday though?
Oh yeah, it would. Yeah.
That's the bag, right? But that's what we were talking about earlier.
But shouldn't Warrington really win this? I mean,
he's gonna win it. He's gonna win it.
He's still got enough left to beat Martinez.
I don't know. I don't know. It might be a Kiko Martinez part 2.
Nah, bro.
I don't know, man.
But then Warrington will win the title that he gave up a year and a half ago.
Yeah, essentially.
He gave it up for a reason, didn't he?
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Hilarious.
Essentially, yeah. Shane, you want to jump through the comments, bro?
Oh yeah, definitely. Where were we?
We were at this one right here. Actually, I need to take this one. This is for me. Burtwood G5, could you comment on your comment about a liver shot being set up? So basically, Burtwood, I can explain that to you in the sense of how the elite fighters do it. Good fighters, they throw shots to set up head shots. The elite fighters, they throw shots to actually set up the body shots. They'll go up top, but their actual intent is to go downstairs. So I'll give you a prime example. So let's go back. Let's take Amir Khan and Chino Maidana, first round. Amir Khan was hitting him with everything with the kitchen sink in the first round, headshots. But the shot that really got him in trouble was he went upstairs and then he hit him with the right hook to the body and then the left hook to the body, and that's what opened up the liver shot. That's how you set up a body shot. That's how you set up a liver shot. Like you have to bring a guy's eyes up in order for you to land that body shot. Like, so it's almost like a sneak attack almost. And then your angle got to be right as well. Your angle. I was
gonna say the angle is very important. It's where you're throwing the shot from, because a lot of people try to throw body shots, and I always found this so weird to me. A lot of people try to throw body shots and they're side on, and they're all the way side on. There's only one shot you can land, and that's the body shot with your leading hand.
Right. Did you just change your name?
Yeah.
Okay. I figured that was him. I'll run through these, Shane. I got it. Kane Dingle Boxing. Just go Witherspoons on a Saturday night if you want to see fights for free.
That's a pub in the UK.
That's a pub. Okay. That's how you know you're a real boxing fan, Nathan. Yeah, for sure. Shane, if Nonito Donaire versus Inouye move up to 122, which one can beat Fulton?
The truth is, bro, the way Nonito Donaire's fighting right now, I want to see him fight Inouye. That's the fight I want to see. But honestly, bro, if either one of them move up to 122, that division is just overstacked. Like rice in a cup.
That'd be like roadkill. Like that'd be like
literally rice in a cup right now, just overflowing.
Yeah, for sure. Kane Dingle Boxing, payday for Kiko, who deserves some money. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a money fight for Kiko. So I understand why he's taking it.
Do you guys think that he's got to be so lucky, and it's like he got a gift from God?
Yeah, I mean, Nathan, here's the thing is the thing is this, bro. Like when you get a victory like that, you have to cash in. Like you have to cash in. Like he's not good enough to be playing around with the position that he's in. Like he has to take whatever the biggest money fight is. Like he has to take it because he's not skilled enough to hold the position that he has. So I understand it from that aspect. From a moral standpoint, I don't like the fact that Warrington's getting a shot. I don't like that, but he comes with the bag, though. He comes with the money, and when you come with the money, you get opportunities that you may not deserve.
If Martinez pulls it off, then fair play to him.
Oh,
Really.
bro, if he pulls it off, man, that's probably one of the biggest runs out of the smaller dudes in a while. For him to knock out Galahad and knock off Warrington, what?
It would just make British boxing look real bad.
It would, yeah.
Yeah, it would. I would be smiling because that
Shouldn't Galahad really be, I reckon if he had the rematch, he'd win. But
No,
he's
but
not,
he
and
turned
then
the rematch down. He had a rematch clause in it, but he turned it
yeah.
down.
So is he going to fight
Galahad.
Warrington then if Warrington wins?
Yeah.
You know, we can't say that Warrington's going to win. He should, but you know, and again, lightning could strike twice, couldn't it? You know,
It could.
The truth is, bro, unless your name's Navarrete, I really don't want to see anyone in that division. I mean, Gary Russell has to earn his right back into my book. I'm not a massive fan of Warrington, not a massive fan of
neither
Gallagher.
am I. He's just a guy that beat. He was lucky. He had a good run. He got some good wins against some guys who were on the slide, you know. And you can't knock him for that, you know. I mean, I know he's pretty predictable. You know, I never thought he'd win a world title, Warrington, when he did. To be honest, he looked European level to me.
Again, but he's. I must say something, but the truth is, he is European level. He hasn't
not really well
to be world level. It's the same thing when people talk about, and I know this is going to probably ruffle a few feathers, Callum Smith. To me, he hasn't proven to be world level because all his biggest wins have been against European fighters.
Yeah, who held world titles. And what's his name?
I don't know
Groves was a good fighter, but when he won his world title, he was like 4 years past his sell by that, wasn't he? By the time he won that world title.
Who we already seen knocked out twice by Froch and he lost to Badou Jack. So how good is Gold?
It's the opposite in other fighters. It's like what's his name? Joseph Parker was champion 3 or 4 years before he was even ready for that title. You know, you've got to take your chances while you can in boxing, can't you? You don't say no to a title.
I get that. I'm not saying he should say no, but it doesn't mean
you're
that
right.
you're world title, like you're world level. To me, like he proved that he wasn't world level when he fought John Ryder, because I didn't see a disparity. I didn't see one fight. Like when I watched that fight, I didn't see one fighter who was world level and one fighter who was British
John Ryder was just a British European level at best, you know.
And he looked the same level as Callum Smith that night.
Right. Maybe the super middleweight, the weight cut was killing him. The same way it was when Tony Bellew was at light heavyweight. That's why he moved. I can see why they did.
But do you not? This is the thing with British. I'm sorry, Jeff, to take you away.
You're good.
This is the thing with British fighters, Nathan. We always hear that after the fact. Tony Bellew, Callum Smith,
they were never that good.
Josh Kelly, Charlie Edwards. Whenever they lose, I'm too big for the weight. You see my point? It's always retroactive. They always bring things up after the fact instead of before. To me, I just don't like. To me, I just feel that that's more of an excuse. We always see this with British fighters. Oh, I was too big for the weight. We've seen it numerous times.
No, that's a fact. Kane said Galahad shots had no mustard on them. Slick boxing with no power. Kiko set his feet in the canvas and took a risk. That's a fact. Rumor Lewis versus Tyson.
I hope it ain't Lennox.
I hope not. I hope it's John Lewis or something like that. I don't want to see that. For sure, man. But listen, we're gonna close this one out right here, man. We 2 hours 13 minutes strong in this joint. We will be back tomorrow.
I don't know what the topic is.
I don't know what the topic will be.
Am I welcome to come on tomorrow?
Absolutely, man. Your family. So whether you're Emmanuel Char or Nathan Carey, you're going to let me know which one you're going to be.
That's if you give me my champion in recess back, yeah. Right, take care, guys.
I'm just messing with you, man. Appreciate you, man. We'll see you tomorrow, bro.
The truth is, bro, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I don't even boxing fights are getting cancelled left, right, and center. But we might have to start up a.
We might do a whole show on cancellations.
I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna be talking about something.
Yeah, we're going to talk about something tomorrow, but we'll figure it out. Bert Wood said, "Thank y'all." Hey, man, Bert, man, we appreciate you, man. And hey, Bert, we got a new segment coming out. It's called Ring Guys, man. I think you really gonna like that, man. We're gonna bring a lot of throwback fighters, a lot of throwback moments. I think you'll really enjoy it. So we got a lot of different things in the works. But follow BoxingFirst Vlog on Instagram and Twitter. Go to his YouTube channel and definitely subscribe to his channel. He actually did a few videos recently that I haven't tapped into. I gotta tap into them.
I did notifications didn't even come through.
And nigga, you got to rewrite that article. I'm saying it right now on camera. You got to rewrite that article. I actually want him to do another type of article because that kind of it's kind of falling by the wayside a little bit where he was going with that. He ain't gonna like that, but I mean, it is what it is. Shane, give me your social media, bro.
I_am Shane the number 1.
That is exclusively on Instagram. Shane is exclusively on Instagram. I'm all over the place, man. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
Everywhere.
G5JeffTV. Website, G5JeffTV.com. We have probably the only and hottest boxing prediction fantasy league.
Unfortunately, there ain't no fights to predict.
Fights to predict, which is screwing our darn league up. But that's okay because we're gonna have to get some fights in eventually. Actually, you know what, Shane? Do we have to put a fight or two up to kind of supplement?
I mean, I got to look at BoxRec. I don't even know what fights are coming up.
Yeah, we'll talk about that off camera, man. But this has been episode 43 of the Goodfellas podcast. I know we'll be back tomorrow. What we talking about? Who knows?
God knows.
But I'm gonna be in about 6 inches of snow. So
Right.
it's gonna be 3 to 6 inches of snow in Philly.
Seriously,
So, yeah,
bro. Right. In the UK, it's so cold it can't snow.
Wow, that's crazy.
Freezing out here.
It is absolutely crazy, man. So listen, on behalf of BoxingFirst Vlog, aka the General, aka Blunt Bayless, my man VP Shane, and your boy G5JeffTV, episode 44 of the Goodfellas podcast will be up tomorrow. Peace out.